On July 25th of 2008, the New York Yankees, who were just 3 games behind their arch rivals, the Boston Red Sox, arrived in Fenway Park for a 3-game series. The Yankees, coming off a 6-game winning streak since the All-Star break, were determined to cut that 3-game lead in the hopes of eventually making their 14th straight appearance into the postseason. Hello, I'm John Sterling, and welcome to Yankees Classics. Boston fans packed Fenway Park as they always do when the Yankees come to Beantown, but they were especially excited to see the return of Big Papi David Ortiz, who'd been out of the Boston lineup for 47 games due to a left wrist injury. And the Red Sox were elated to have the elite slugger back in the lineup, ready to face New York. Red Sox fans were not as excited to hear that Manny Ramirez had been scratched from the lineup due to an alleged knee injury. Rumors were swirling. It was Ramirez's discontent with the Red Sox refusal to negotiate his option for the next year that was really keeping him out of the game. Now, despite the family drama, Sox fans were hopeful that right-handed pitching ace Josh Beckett, who'd been 3-0 against the Yankees that season, would increase Boston's lead over New York. But the Yankees felt they had an answer for Mr. Beckett. Jabba Chamberlain was the face of a Yankees team in transition. Chamberlain was in the process of leaving the bullpen for the starting rotation and had shown signs of brilliance, posting a 2.64 ERA in 9 starts, even though he had never pitched through the 7th inning in his starting role. But that was about to change. It's a pitcher's duel from July 25th, 2008 at Fenway Park, called by Michael Kay, Al Leiter, and David Cohn.
Well, the Red Sox have taken the field. Josh Beckett's taking his warm-up tosses, and we're taking a look at the Yankees starting lineup. Johnny Damon, the DH, is going to lead off, batting second, playing shortstop, the captain, Derek Jeter. Bobby Abreu's in right field, hitting third. Cleanup hitter, third baseman, Alex Rodriguez. Jason Giambi's at first, batting fifth. Batting sixth and playing second base, the red-hot Robinson Cano. Good numbers lifetime against Beckett. Melky Cabrera's in center, Jose Molina will catch, and Brett Gardner is in left field at the bottom of the order, batting ninth. Well, we are ready for a big 3-game set here at Fenway Park. The Yankees come in red hot. The Red Sox come off a West Coast trip. They were 3-3. The Yankees have won 6 in a row. And the former idiot of the world champion Red Sox in 2004, Johnny Damon, gets booed as he steps into the box. So Damon is ready. Beckett is ready. Let's do it here in Boston. And the right-hander deals. Pitches outside 1-0, and we are underway. Damon 2 for 11 since coming off the DL with that bad shoulder. Still DHing, not able to throw, at least to the point where he could play in the outfield. And there's a strike. Here are the numbers on Josh Beckett.
Very good season so far, 9-6 with near 4 ERA, 120 innings, 114 hits. Very respectable for Josh Beckett.
We'll take a look at the scouting report in a moment. And Beckett deals the 1-1. Outside 2-1. Let's take a look at the Boston Red Sox pitcher scouting report.
Going for 4 straight. Josh Beckett has been very good against the Yankees this year, 3-0. You see Mr. Clutch postseason lifetime 6-2. This past year for the Red Sox, he was 4-0 with an ERA of 1.73 lifetime. Confident / cocky. Here's a kid who was a number 2 pick overall in 1999 and has a confident way about him.
How do you decipher whether it's cocky?
Well, I think early on, when you're a young player and you come up, there's a certain bit of respect that you give to the game, and maybe some of the older guys may view it as cocky. Knowing Josh, he's matured greatly, and I think he's a confident guy that's learning the game and knowing where his role is and what he means to a staff. Show me an excellent superstar player, and they're going to have a significant amount of confidence somewhere in that body.
That one's driven the other way. It's going to be a foul ball. Now, David was an excellent big game pitcher, outstanding pitcher, a Cy Young Award winner. Nobody ever looked at you as cocky, but you were confident.
Well, yeah, I was confident. I think, it comes with experience. Ozzie Guillen, the manager of the Chicago White Sox, described Jabba Chamberlain as a guy who, with his mannerisms, was a guy who's good and he knows it. That's how he described it. Josh Beckett's got that look to him.
Beckett won Game 6 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium for the Marlins, so he does come through. That one's fouled away. I guess if you could talk the talk after walking the walk, people accept it.
But there's a certain consistency level that you have to have, you know. And we talked about Jabba Chamberlain earlier this year and the fist pumps when he was in the bullpen, and David DeLucci took exception to the Cleveland Indians, in that series in Cleveland earlier in the year. And really, what it comes down to is just being consistent with it. Whether you celebrate or not, you certainly don't want to put a bullseye on your back, but at the same time, you want confidence.
2-2. Fouled away. Good at bat for Damon.
Well, and also, too, we're talking about a maturity issue here. And what you mentioned, Game 6 of the 2003 World Series, when he was with the Marlins and beating the Yankees, he was 23 years old as Jabba Chamberlain. I don't know how you guys were at 23, but you certainly evolve, and you see some of your mistakes, and you grow up. Josh Beckett's grown up.
He is the ace of the staff for the Red Sox, 6-0 in the postseason. And he wins big games. Wins them consistently, the 2-2. Fouled away. Damon has now put together a 9-pitch at bat, and Beckett has thrown 7 strikes. This has to wear you out just a little bit. The last thing you want to do first batter of the game is have a 10-pitch at bat. Talking about the postseason, 3 shutouts, second most all time, 10 games, 6-0, a sparkling 1.73 ERA. And the 2-2. And it looks like Beckett will win that at bat. Pedroia over to Youkilis. And there's one away. Let's take a look at the defense behind Josh Beckett. In the outfield, you've got Ellsbury in left, Crisp in center, and Drew over and right. In the infield, Lowell, Lowry, Pedroia, and Youkilis. Youkilis has turned into an outstanding first baseman, a Gold Glove winner. And Baratek is behind the plate with Beckett on the mound. Here's the captain, Derek Jeter.
You know, Al, you can almost see with Beckett early in the game. We talked about it in the pregame show about wanting to establish his fastball. Pretty much all heaters to Damon to lead off the game. Coming out throwing 95 miles an hour. Really throwing, just choosing to shoot, show number 1 right away. That's kind of been his formula.
Can you blame him? I mean, 95, wouldn't you be doing the same?
I see him, prone to the long ball, too, and giving it up early, and that'll get him right out of that game plan.
That one is lined up the middle, a base hit for Derek Jeter. Derek now 9 for his last 21.
The aggressive pitching of Josh Beckett's up in the zone, fastball up middle. You see Derek Jeter doing what he's done so well in his career, pulling the hands in, nice line drive swing up the middle.
Beckett's the type of pitcher, we see Derek line that pitch back up the box. You know a pitcher that throws hard, that's going to establish his fastball. You're going to see a lot of fastballs early in the game. The Yankees notoriously are a team that likes to grind it out and see a lot of pitches. You almost have to switch your approach a little bit and look early in the count for fastballs early in the game from Beckett and put a good swing on it. And that's what's given Beckett problems, especially when he starts giving up long balls early in the game. There's fastball hitting teams that come out and look early in the count for fastballs, give Beckett problems. And you've got to force him into throwing more breaking balls and change-ups and trying to mix it up early in the game, because if you let him cruise through the lineup the first 2 or 3 innings with just fastballs, then you're in for a long night.
And the pitch to Abreu. There's a strike, snap though to first in Jeter's bat.
Baratek making sure that Derek Jeter's not sleeping, showing, hey, I'm not afraid to snap throw down there, as Jose Molina of the Yankees does so often, keeping the base runners honest.
In the 6-game hitting streak, the Yankees are winning streak. The Yankees have had since the All-Star break. They've scored 6.3 runs per game, and they have a .306 team batting average. Line drive, base hit past the lunging Pedroia into center field. Jeter will stop at second. So successive singles for the Yankees with 1 out, putting runners on first and second for their cleanup hitter, A-Rod.
Well, once again, all fastballs so far from Beckett. You see Abreu gets another one up in the zone. See Baratek reach out over the middle, and Abreu's ready for it. We've seen Bobby with this kind of approach. He thinks right back up the box, right up the middle. Ball's up and away out over the plate. Hit too hard for Derek to think about going to third. He had to make sure that Pedroia didn't catch that on the line. But that ball smoked right back up the middle. 2 hard hit line drives and nothing but fastballs from Beckett so far in the game.
Yankees have a runner in scoring position early. He's reached base safety now in 18 games at Fenway Park. as a Yankee. So Abreu likes hitting in this yard. Now, since the All-Star break with runners in scoring position, the Yankees as a team hitting .333 in stark contrast to the .254 number they had in the first half. Alex Rodriguez sporting a .593 slugging percentage, which leads the American League. So Yankees attacking early, first and second with one man out. And the only guy who was retired, it took 10 pitches to do it, leadoff batter Johnny Damon. 1-0. Breaking ball, a little bit of a flinch there by A-Rod, count 1-1.
Here's this breaking ball. Backing up a little bit, you see where Veritek tries to frame it, inner half. That's where you'll see a flinch from the same side batter. Right arm, right batter, right-handed batter.
We see home plate umpire Marty Foster stay with that call too. And he's traditionally been a strike calling type of umpire, man. Very consistent back there. Marty Foster, definitely more of a pitcher's umpire.
Marty Foster is behind the plate. You've got Darrell Cousins at first, Angel Hernandez at second, and Eric Cooper is over at third. A-Rod hitting .256 with runners in scoring position this season. And there's a fastball strike, 94 miles an hour, 1-2.
And see right there what David was talking about. First pitch curveball, he throws for a ball, comes back, doubles up. A-Rod has seen just all fastballs pretty much to his previous batters that he was watching from the dugout. Now he paints a perfect fastball on the inside corner. The two curveballs set up that pitch right there.
The 1-2. A little bit low, 2-2. On deck for the Yankees is Jason Giambi. A-Rod's been hot of late, 6 for his last 14, 9 for his last 23. 96 hits on the season, 61 ribbies, and 21 home runs. Just underway here at Fenway Park. Jeter's at second, Abreu is at first with one out. Time is called.
And for my time playing in Boston and throwing to Jason Veritek, the Red Sox catchers, they're very wary, especially with a veteran runner, Derek Jeter, on second base, and a veteran hitter in A-Rod. You're going to see him go through multiple sequences of signs to the mask, to the chest protector. No finger signs, all body signs.
Swing and a miss. That one was in the dirt, and A-Rod is out on strikes, 2 away. A-Rod gets jeered as he walks back to the dugout.
Let's take a look at the pitch by pitch. He starts over the curveball. A-Rod saw a lot of fastballs. Comes back with a strike curveball. That's a paint fastball in the inside corner. See A-Rod hoping that it's not a strike. Tries to come in again with a low fastball, and that breaking ball is just nasty, tight, 12-6. See out of the hand that his curveball has got almost slider velocity. Normally a curveball is about 12 to 14 miles an hour slower. At that point, that swing A-Rod just showed there was just hoping he could foul it off.
No place for A-Rod to go with runners on base, despite the fact that the ball bounced. And the pitch to Jason Giambi is a backdoor breaking ball for a strike.
Josh, talking about maturity, he's learned early in the count, strike curveball. That's a 75 mile an hour, get over, good spin to it. And then later in the count, you bury it in the dirt as he did with Alex Rodriguez, but it's got greater velocity. The speed variation is closer to his fastball. Just good pitching.
Chasing Jeter back. Well, even if the Yankees don't score in this inning, they are certainly building up pitch count on Beckett. He's at 20 right now. And that's what the Yankees do sometimes against pitchers that are outstanding. They used to do that with Pedro Martinez all the time. Build up the pitch count, get to the bullpen, do their damage there. When you were on the Yankees, David, Pedro was just outstanding, but you always seemed to match him with a pitcher that matched zeros, and then he got tired and had to leave the game.
You know, you mentioned that before the game, Michael, about pitchers, you know, talk about facing the opposing lineup. I guarantee you, Jabba knows this guy's on the mound tonight, Josh Beckett. I knew who I was facing. you certainly watch early in the game whether this guy's sharp or not. It could certainly affect how you go about your business.
1-1. There's a strike. The count 1-2.
But it is a key early in the game. You want to not only get his pitch count up, but a lot of times, as you see this pitch to Giambi right here, is right there at the knees. Marty Foster calls it a strike, and Marty's not afraid to call strikes, as I said before. Good home plate umpire from a pitcher's perspective. But the thing is, if you're going to get a starting pitcher, get him early in the game if you can. The Yankees have first and second, another two-out situation. They've been much better since the break in these types of situations.
22 pitches, 17 strikes. And the 1-2. 2-2. Giambi has had a nice year, but one thing that he hasn't done is hit well in clutch. Because with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, he's hitting just .205. So he's had some big hits, but not with 2 outs. And his numbers with runners in scoring position are not as high as they could be. He has had some big ones, but not enough to really bring the average up. But since June 3rd in these situations, hitting .421. 2-2. Strike 3 inside corner, and Giambi down looking. While Beckett works into and out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 runners left. Yankees nothing. Red Sox coming to bat.
You know, ideas and inventions come from people in all walks of life. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? If so, InventHelp has information to help you get started. InventHelp is America's largest inventor service firm. Call and learn how to try to submit your idea to companies through InventHelp's data bank and apply for a patent. Even if your idea is just to improve an existing product, call for InventHelp's free information.
For your inventor's information, call 1-800-227-1299.
6. That's the number. 6 out of 10 Americans are now in debt. That's over half the country. So if you're in trouble with debt, you're not alone. If your credit card bills are piling up and your balance just isn't going down, call Consolidated Credit now. They'll get the credit card companies to reduce or eliminate your interest. They'll consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and they'll cut your monthly payment by up to 50%. All that so that you can pay off your debt fast. 6 out of 10 people may be in debt, but one call to Consolidated Credit can get you out. They're the freedom people.
Free, free, free. Give me that freedom.
Call toll-free 1-800-227-1783. That's 1-800-227-1783.
Consolidated Credit. When credit card debt is the problem, they're the solution.
For over 30 years, I've used the Total Gym for one reason. It does work.
It works.
It works. It works.
It works.
It works.
8 to 10 minutes a day can trim, tone, and even sculpt those problem areas that plague all of us. And take my word for it, you will shed pounds using the Total Gym.
I've lost 18 pounds using the Total Gym.
I've lost a total of 30 pounds.
I have lost 45 pounds.
I have lost 28 pounds total.
I have lost over 70 pounds on our Total Gym.
I lost 92 pounds.
Using the Total Gym, I lost 177 pounds. It's just amazing what I accomplished.
It's fast, fun, and invigorating. And most important, it works.
Now, for the first time ever, you can try a Total Gym absolutely risk-free for an entire 2 months. 2 months? Wow. Good. But believe me, it won't take 2 months. You'll be hooked on it the first time you try it.
We've played a lot of games without him, and you know, we obviously knew how special he was to our team, and not only on the field but in the clubhouse and everything else. So it's going to be great to get him back and just kind of make our lineup that more explosive.
And it certainly will do that. Dustin Pedroia talking about the return of David Ortiz, who's missed 45 games with an injury. Let's take a look at the Red Sox starting lineup, put together by Terry Francona. Jacoby Ellsbury's in left field. He'll lead off. Batting second and playing second is Dustin Pedroia. David Ortiz, the DH, will hit third. Kevin Youkilis at first base cleans up. Mike Lowell in third base for batting fifth. J.D. Drews in right field hitting sixth. Jed Lowry, the shortstop, hits seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Jason Varitek. And Coco Crisp in center field will bat ninth. Since June 1st, filling in for David Ortiz. J.D. Drew hitting 300, so he's done a nice job.
And on the mound for the Yankees is Jabba Chamberlain. You see the 29 games, half of them were as a starter, then a reliever. Here he's starting with 2-3 with a 2.52. Very nice ERA, 71 in the third inning, 60 hits. Let's take a look at the scouting report. 47 and 2/3 innings. That is, he's right down the middle. 95 and a third lifetime innings. He has half starting, half relieving. Strong start. Hasn't given up a run in his last 8 starts. Ks on the rise. He's got more Ks than base runners. 118 Ks, 114 base runners.
The count 1-0 as that one got past Beckett. Oh, check that. Got past Ellsbury.
The job has been good in the first inning, right, Al? Coming out of the gates, no runs in his last 8 starts.
And there's a strike.
Opponents only bet 2 for 25. I would say that's good.
Last 2 starts, he has walked just 1 batter and struck out 17. That one is chopped towards second. Cano right there. And there's 1 away. Ellsbury's been struggling. He's now 4 for his last 29. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense behind Jabba Chamberlain. You've got Gardner in left, Cabrera in center, and Abreu over right. In the infield, Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, and Giambi. That is third to first. 7 errors for A-Rod and 78 starts at third. Molina behind the plate, and Chamberlain is on the mound. David Ortiz just got a big hand coming out on deck. Here's Dustin Pedroia. Boy, is he red hot. You just can't get him out. That's now a 9-game hitting streak for Pedroia. And here comes David Ortiz after missing 45 games. He's been out since May 31st, 45 games, and the Red Sox 26 and 19 in those 45 games. And there's a strike. Now he hurt his left wrist, and he's had some rehab starts. And he said, "I'm not 100%. I'm being honest with you. It still hurts a little bit. It's going to hurt for a while till I get full strength back." But he is here. Red Sox need him, with the Yankees breathing down their neck and the Red Sox battling Tampa Bay. And the 0-1. Foul back. 0-2. They held their own without him. Now, obviously missed some games before he went on DL. 28 and 21 without him. 32 and 22 with him. And the difference in runs per game, not that much. But there's a presence. There's a presence in how somebody pitches to a lineup with a David Ortiz and without a David Ortiz. The 0-2. Inside 1 and 2.
It's no secret. Jose Molina, the catcher tonight, just sets up 3 straight times for fastballs in. They're going to test Ortiz in that wrist, that left wrist where he had a torn sheath. And it lays over the tendon. Definitely a tough injury for a power hitter, a wrist injury on his top hand. That's the first thing I do, Al. You're going to come right in there and challenge him. You know he's not 100%, even though with his track record in his career against the Yankees and a great run producer. See those numbers against the Yankees, 111 games, 24 home runs and 86 RBIs. So you got to find out early in the game how that wrist is, whether he can handle the inside fastball. Jabba's got a power one. Saw 3 straight fastballs and a power slider inside.
This is how he hurt himself. Against the Orioles, it seemed like an innocuous swing, but you could see he's in pain right there. Actually stayed in that game. And now he's back 45 games later. Line drive down the right field line. It's a foul ball.
It's a slider going down and in. A dangerous area for any left-handed hitter, especially David Ortiz. It's foul. Let's take a look at the scouting report. Mr. DH, he's third all-time in career home runs, 238. Frank Thomas and Edgar Martinez lifetime. The last 5 years, they have go-ahead RBIs. Very important late in the game. 160 is first place in Major League Baseball, not 100%. And Michael, we've just been talking about that. Exploit inside, see how that wrist feels.
2-2, foul back. He's being tested early.
Well, why inside? You know, it's easier to flick the ball, especially with your right hand, the ball away. You really got to work your hands and fight it to get your hands through the ball and the ball on the inside part of the plate.
You can really see that top hand come off the bat quickly. Right there, he lets go, and you can tell he's protecting that wrist just a little bit.
So a tough battle between Chamberlain and Ortiz here in the first. And there's just something about rehabbing in the minor leagues in Pawtucket, in Portland, and playing here. I mean, there's just so much more adrenaline. He's really testing the wrist where he didn't test it down there. Hit some home runs down there, but still, this is a different animal up here. The 2-2. Breaking ball just missed. Jabba wanted that one. And the count is full at 3-2. Let's see if they send Pedroia.
It's Jabba's first look at a curveball here, and you see Molina's trying to frame it, trying to catch it. Everything Jose Molina catches, he tries to make look like a strike.
Runner goes, now he stops, and Ortiz fouls it off. So either a bluff by Pedroia or he didn't get a good jump.
And that's the respect that Jose Molina has for all of these runners. 49% he's thrown out runners, which is really fantastic. League average is 25%.
You see on Big Poppy's helmet there, he's got an RIP number 45. Tough to see it there, but on the other side, and that's probably in reference to Pedro Martinez's father. You see it right there, RIP number 45. That's an honor to Pedro's father.
Paulino Martinez, who died after a long battle with brain cancer. Our condolences go out to Pedro and his family. The 3-2, swung and a miss. Throw to second. They got Pedroia. No! A swim move got him in there. And a stolen base for Pedroia as Ortiz loses the battle with Chamberlain and strikes out for the second out.
And Pedroia does the right thing. The ball beat him. And for a runner to watch his left hand, Jeter has the ball. He swim moves with his left back over. I'm not sure if Derek got the tag. He missed him when his arm was down, the left arm. Now watch him pull away. Angel Hernandez is right on top of it. Second base umpire. Looked like Pedroia hung on.
Jeter thought he got him. He certainly questioned Angel Hernandez there in that call.
There's Kevin Youkilis. And there's a strike. Take another look at that play at second.
Looked like he got him to me on the thigh before the hand got in there, but very close. Angel loves those kind of calls. You know, Angel Hernandez is famous for getting in the middle of it, mixing it up.
Big balk guy, likes to call balks too. Now there's no love lost between these two. There's some history between Chamberlain and Youkilis. Youkilis has felt that Chamberlain has thrown at him, and that has inspired the wrath of the Red Sox toward Jabba. Youkilis is one of those players that you don't like him as an opponent, but you kind of like him as a teammate. And a lot of people compare his type of grit to that exhibited by Paul O'Neill, where it just rubs you the wrong way if you're playing against him. Although Youkilis and Manny Ramirez got into a little bit of a brawl together. One more
I think he gets him right there on the thigh, right before the hand comes down. That's what Derek Jeter thought as well.
Youkilis hitting .333 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. The 1-2 inside 2-2.
Jabba very sharp so far. Good sliders. This is a fastball inside, just in off the plate. Good pitch right there. You see Youkilis almost jumps out of the way to influence home plate umpire Marty Foster right there.
2-2 outside with the slider and the count 3-2.
What do you think of that straight brim look, that hat on Jabba there, Al?
Do you like it?
The new school. That's a new school look. Straight brim.
Although Lou Piniella used to do that. Take it right out of the box. trim straight across.
3-2. High fly ball down the right field line. Giving chase is Abreu. And he runs out of room. Foul ball. So Job has thrown 19 pitches. Both pitchers are being forced to work here in the first inning.
Well, there's just no room. You talk about Yankee Stadium and the foul lines and the room between the foul line and the stands. And this ballpark is amazing in that regard. Anything down the line, as you can see, this looks like, I thought Abreu was going to make this catch easily. And there's just no room. It gets in the first row. Right there by Pesky's pole.
Joe Girardi has guided his team to 11 games over 500. That's their high water mark. They're 3 games behind both the Rays and the Red Sox. "3-2. Swung on and missed. Tied him up with a breaking ball, and that's going to do it here in the first. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We've played 1 at Fenway. Exciting, but no score.
Are you stressed over credit cards and other debts? Maybe through no fault of your own.
Just a great sporting venue. Opened up in 1912, and pretty great history between these two teams. No score as we go to the second. There's Cano. And here's a strike. Cano's 6-game hitting streak since the All-Star break, and in those 6 games, each time 2 hits or more. Checked in with his dad during the All-Star break, and Dad did something, turned him around.
He's been a second-half hitter. Matter of fact, the present hitters in Major League Baseball, he's second behind Albert Pujols with a .338 batting average after the All-Star break. And you're right, Michael. He went back home and worked with his father. Ironically, is not enough. His father was a Major League pitcher. So I guess pitchers can help hitters.
Driven the other way and out of play. Now that does not necessarily act as a reflection on Kevin Long. I mean, if you go back to your dad was there when your swing was first formed. They probably know your swing better than anybody. Jason Giambi's very close with his father, and he goes back to him just to go back to basics. And you know, that's not knocking Long. That's Cano being very close to his dad.
There was a great article, a cover story on Sports Illustrated with Tim Lincecum, the all-star pitcher with the Giants.
Line drive, another base hit for Cano. Boy, he's got that alley locked in there to left field. A 7-game hitting streak for Cano.
Here is it. When Robinson Cano is right, this ball away, when he was struggling early on, he would have pulled it. Look at his head down, stays on the ball, doesn't try to do a whole lot other than just drive it to that left center, right over the shortstop's head. It's great approach, good hitting.
Especially on an off-speed pitch, down and away. Those are the pitches. Early in the year, he'd roll over in the ground ball to second base.
Good balance.
Well, we've seen him take fastballs the other way, but you see him just wait and keep those hands back on that off-speed pitch down and away.
He's also comfortable against Beckett. 9 for 27 with a home run against really a top-shelf pitcher. Melky Cabrera loops one into left center field. Giving chase is Ellsbury, and he'll make the play for the first out of the second.
Finish it about dads. Tim Lincecum's dad really got into his mechanics, and he's got unorthodox mechanics, but it got to a real technical level. And you're right, Michael. And, you know, your dad was into it and followed you since you were a little boy, and certainly knows you better than anybody else.
See that with Barry Zito. Sometimes it works to your advantage, sometimes it doesn't. Here's Jose Molina against Beckett. And the pitch outside, 1-0.
I used to see Keith Hernandez, the first baseman for the Mets, used to go in between innings from the manager's office and call his father back home, who was watching with the big satellite dish. And used to get pine tar all over the phone too. Davey Johnson, the manager of the Mets, used to hate that. He'd come in, his desk is all messed up. And Keith Hernandez calling his father in between at bats.
He was the one during the World Series said, "I can't see the 7 on your bat."
War number 17. It means he wasn't turned enough. That one's popped up. And J.D. Drew is there. Now, your dad got me into baseball, David. Did you ever go back to him to straighten things out?
Not so much on a technical level, but certainly, just from a mental level. I talked to him about approaches and strategies and my mindset. We didn't really get into breaking down mechanics, but my dad gave me the best lesson I ever had from any pitching coach, which was less is more. Take a little bit off and try to hit your locations. Don't go all out on every pitch. He taught me that when I was a little leaguer, and it's a lesson that big league pitching coaches use now in terms of sometimes less is more. Subtracting, taking a little off your pitches, letting them move and work for you sometimes is the answer, as opposed to trying to throw it as hard as you can all the time.
It always seems like you learn that lesson late. Latter part of your career, your velocity's down. You recognize, hey, that makes sense. But when you were throwing real hard, you didn't really want to hear it.
Pitch to Brett Gardner's inside. 1-0. Mentioned the Yankees are 3 games behind both the Rays and the Red Sox. And why is that significant? Well, today is the 25th of July. On July 6th, the Yankees were 9 games out. So they've made up 6 games in that short period of time, winning 11 of 14, including 6 in a row. Fouled away. We're talking about the hitting, and that's certainly improved, but really the thing that jumps out at you since the All-Star break, the Yankees have a 1.89 ERA. You win games if you give up less than 2 runs per game.
Especially coming out of the break in that Oakland series, that first series, those were tight games. 2-1, 3-2 type games. And the pitching really sustained itself to allow the Yankee offense to get going.
There's a strike to Gardner in the count 1-2.
And then David, you talk about the carryover effect. After that series, Minnesota came in. Yankees scored 25 runs in that series. So when you get some wins in those 2-1 games, the hitters just lessen the pressure of thinking they got to get the big hit because they lost a couple games. Everyone's relaxed.
1-2. Breaking ball, strike 3. Gardner down looking. So Gardner's first taste of Yankees Red Sox here at Fenway Park, and he goes down looking. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. No score at Fenway.
He was kryptonite green for his record-breaking dunks. Kryptonite! Now he's officially Celtic green. Tomorrow, the Nets make a quick trip to Boston for a midday matinee against the star-studded Celtics. Nets, Celtics. It all starts tomorrow at 12:30 with the Nets pregame.
Only on Yes. I'm Roger Teeter. In my 40s, I suffered from chronic back pain. I tried everything to find relief. Nothing really worked. Then I found inversion. The Teeter Hang-Ups offers natural decompression that can help to restore nutrients to the discs, reduce nerve pressure, provide realignment, and relax tense, tired muscles.
Call now to try the Teeter Hang-Ups for only $14.95 and receive the 30 Days to a Better Back program free.
Unlike any stretch you can do on your own, a few minutes a day on the Teeter decompresses all weight-bearing joints, promoting improved function and flexibility. That deep stretch leaves me feeling relaxed and rejuvenated. Even though I'm in my 70s, I feel great.
An extremely easy piece of equipment to operate. The relief that it brings me is well worth the 3 to 5 minutes.
Give it a try and discover why over 1 million people worldwide have put their trust in Teeter Hang-Ups.
Attention homeowners, we know it's tough out there. And while America's homeowners are facing more challenges than ever before, the National Mortgage Help Center is ready to help. If you're falling behind on your mortgage, facing foreclosure, or if your home is now worth less than what you owe, we may be able to help. If paying your mortgage has become difficult, even if you're not late, we may be able to help you. A new government stimulus now offers incentives to your mortgage company to work with us on your behalf. Call 1-800-223-6318 right now to qualify. We may be able to lower your rate to as low as 1% and cut your mortgage payment in half. Our trained specialists know all the new regulations to get you quick relief. So call 1-800-223-6318 right now. We help thousands of homeowners every day.
Knowing what I know now, the sooner you do it, the better off you'll be. I can now make that monthly payment.
We'll get through this together, starting now. Call 1-800-223-6318 right now.
news reporter, web producer, account executive.
What's the one thing they all have in common? They got their big break from the Emma L. Bowen Foundation.
And you can too.
Join our paid work-study program and get the competitive edge you need to make it in media.
Multi-year internships, great mentors, scholarship funds.
Minority high school students, college students, do you have what it takes?
Log on to emmabowenfoundation.com and find out.
Mike Lowell leads off. He takes a pitch low. 1-0. Lowell 5 hits in his last 27 at bats, and the breaking ball is a strike. Now, Jabba has made 9 starts. He's 1-1 with a 2.64 ERA. And he has not allowed more than 3 earned runs in any of those starts. But we kind of touched on this, David, during the open. I wonder at what point does a young pitcher start to get a little bit frustrated and maybe change things he doesn't have to change because he's not picking up W's. And the 3-1 to Lowell. That one is drilled deep to left field. Is it over the wall? No, it's off the wall. Played nicely by Gardner, and he is going to hold Lowell to a single. Nicely played by the rookie Gardner.
We talk about Fenway Park can giveth and it can taketh away, and this is a taketh away. This is a sure bullet. Fastball right down the middle. Lowe's all over it. And the only question is whether it stays in the park or not, and this is where Fenway Park takes it away. Normally a double in any other park, maybe even a home run, but now it turns into a single right off the monster, right at the top. Played well by Gardner, right back in, and Lowe's held to a single.
Although this park with that fence has helped resurrect Mike Lowell's career after a bad season with the Marlins. He's a hooker, kind of a swinger. He goes to left field. A lot of balls that are also fly balls, as you say, they give and take away, normally would have been outs or off that wall. And it's been very helpful to Mike Lowell. He's been about as consistent as any hitter in the last couple years for the Red Sox.
Here's J.D. Drew, 3 hits in his last 21 at bats. And that one is lined into right center. Melky Cabrera with the dive and the catch for the first out of the inning. Going back is Lowell. He took an extra base hit away from J.D. Drew.
Wow, he sure did, Michael. Melky Cabrera, very good out in center field. Great arm. Watch how much ground he makes up. Now with the left-handed batter, there's a little slice favorable for the center fielder. All-out stretch, great play. Completely putting your body out, having to make the play. Bobby Abreu would have been about the backup, but I don't know, who knows where that ball would have gone had he not made that play. Nice play.
And Jabba likes what he sees. And J.D. Drew doesn't. Here's Jed Lowry. So when do you think it starts to affect him, David, without getting W's?
Well, you know, he's early in his career as a starter. The Yankees are on a win streak, so it makes it, you know, a little more tolerable. But, you know, if the Yankees were struggling and Jabba's not getting any wins, that's when it really starts to wear on you. That's when it affects you mentally, where you feel like you have to be perfect. You have to hit the corners. You can't give up a run. You have to throw a shutout every time out. That's not the mentality you want.
Nice grab there by Cano. Flips to Jeter one. Under first. Double play on the scoop by Giambi. A beautiful 4-6-3 double play off the bat of Jed Lowry. That looked like it was ticketed for center field and another base hit, but backhanded by Cano. A nice flip to Jeter and a hard throw in the dirt, but scooped up by Giambi with a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play.
Will bankruptcy put an end to the harassing calls from creditors?
We're struggling to pay our bills.
Is bankruptcy an option?
Can I possibly keep my house?
What about keeping my car?
Can bankruptcy stop foreclosure proceedings?
Yes. My law firm may help you get a fresh start while protecting your home, your car, and your peace of mind. Call us for a free consultation.
Will I ever be able to get credit again?
Yes, because bankruptcy isn't the end. It's a new beginning. In today's economic
defense, and boy, last inning they certainly displayed that. Melky Cabrera robbing J.D. Drew of a base hit, and then Jed Lowry robbed of a base hit, and actually making him turn into a double play was Robinson Cano, and then a nice scoop on the back end by Jason Giambi. Yankees showing some leather and grace. Johnny Damon gets his second at bat. And there's a strike.
You get good pitching with good defense, and not only these pitchers have been making pitches and getting outs, but you have defense behind you like that, get you out of some trouble. There's a lot of reasons why this Yankee team is winning right now, and that's one of them.
How much of a pick-me-up is that for a pitcher, even a guy with good stuff?
It was just fantastic defense. Not only were both balls hit very hard and off of middle of the plate type fastballs, it was just spectacular defense. You get those kind of plays, not only do they pick you up, but when they're highlight reel type defensive plays, the entire bench, the entire team gets a lift from that.
It's an energized lift. You see a great play, you make it as a pitcher, you make a bad pitch, and it's a great play. Everyone's high-fiving. It's a good feeling as a jobber. You come in, you recognize some of the pitches that you made, why they hit it hard, and it's a relief.
Swing and a miss as Damon down on strikes. And also, the two great plays helped Jabba have just a 9-pitch inning. Fouled away. Breaking ball is a strike. And the 0-2. Now, Al, you were a teammate of Beckett's with the Marlins when he was very young. How has he changed, and has he changed much as a pitcher?
He's calmer. He's hyper. Coming from somebody who's hyper.
Wow, from you, that means he must have been banging off the walls.
He was. Just like 5th grade, playground kind of mindset all the time. He loves the sport. He wants to be great. You see his last 4 seasons at 20-7 last year. Very good year. He recognizes the past. He knows the history, and it frustrates him as the #2 player picked overall in 1999 by the Marlins after Tampa Bay picked Josh Hamilton. And he's been frustrated.
Check swing right back to Beckett. And there's 2-way.
People come early and stay late. The ballpark is just part of the day. You come and enjoy the festivities. I kind of wonder if the new Yankee Stadium is going to get that feel when it's all said and done. The infrastructure around the new Yankee Stadium.
Well, all the new stadium, as soon as you said that, I thought of Wrigleyville. If you ever get a chance to go out and watch the Cubs out there, what a neat place. But even the new stadiums now, they all have built restaurants and shops and things around it. I'm sure the Yankees have that plan.
You definitely wanted to be a destination, not just for the game. They've done it in Cleveland. They've done it in Baltimore, Seattle. Foul back. And the count is 0-2. You like your season in Boston, Dave?
I did enjoy seeing the other side of the rivalry, and I enjoy, just the passion of the East Coast baseball fans, really up and down the East Coast. Where would the Yankees and Boston be without each other? They really do need each other. This rivalry is so good, so intense.
The 0-2. I remember your buddy David Wells, who pitched there in Boston. And David occasionally liked to go out at night. And he said he could not at all. There's David pitching for the Red Sox. He could not leave his house. He said he didn't like to go out. He said it's too much of an obsession here in Boston if you're a Red Sox. He said I learned how to use my DVD player. Line drive, base hit to center field. So Abreu continues his hot hitting here in Boston.
Well, coming into the batting average against Bobby Abreu's 2 for 2 now. He's 186. 59 at bats is a big body of work right there. 11 for 59 against Josh. 2 for 2 already, Bobby Abreu. You know, those career numbers, I don't know how you felt about it, but if there was a lot of at bats, I felt like it was worth something. You know, when we see like the guys 2 for 8, you know, there's just not enough. But you knew who owned you and who you owned, right?
Well, that's a lot of at bats. You're exactly right. Over 50 at bats. That tells you something.
Here's A-Rod. Tied him up. A-Rod struck out on a breaking ball in the dirt in the first inning with runners on first and second and 1 out.
You see Veritek setting up inside, and this ball's got a little extra run to it. Late movement. A-Rod sees the pitch and recognizes it, but it just chases him inside and tries to pull his hands in and almost check his swing, and it's too late.
Well, you don't see A-Rod swing like that often. Caught in between.
We talked about it earlier with Beckett. You know, he throws a lot of fastballs early in the count, early in the game, and the thing that Bobby Abreu's done so well is get him early in the count. Look for a fastball in the first couple of pitches. I think A-Rod's approach has kind of been that way because you don't want to let this guy get 2 strikes on you because he knows how to finish hitters, and he's got some weapons to go to once he does get ahead.
Which is an approach for anybody who throws as hard as Jabba Chamberlain or Josh Beckett. You can't get off his fastball. You know, you get to guys, you know, that's what makes really Mike Mussina so fun to watch. Guy doesn't throw over 88 miles an hour and he's dealing. Or maybe the latter part of your career where you carve up a guy based on changing speeds and throwing backwards. The hitter facing these 2 starting pitchers tonight, you don't get off that fastball. As David is saying, for Josh Beckett to get to those breaking balls or off-speed pitches, he's got a good changeup to the lefty. He's got a good slider curveball. There's Mussina, pitched the gem yesterday. 2 days ago. Yesterday they were off.
There's a base hit to left center field by Alex Rodriguez. Abreu around second. He's going to go to third. Crisp will flip the ball into second, and a single for A-Rod. Runners on first and third with 2 outs for Giambi.
There's a little flick swing, this cut fastball running away. See where Alex's front hip was out, but he kept his hands back. You'll hear about bat lag from hitting coaches. Keep the barrel of the bat long. He put his foot down, and he was still able to get the barrel of the bat, enough of it to hit a line drive up the middle. Had he pulled off more, been a little weak fly ball to right field or a ground ball to short. That's what makes Alex so special and hard to pitch to. Even when he's fooled, he can hit the ball hard.
That base hit gives him a 5-game hitting streak. Here's Giambi. Struck out looking in the first inning. Fouled away. If you take a look, Jason's mustache mysteriously has gotten dark again.
You've been watching that closely.
Oh yes, I'm obsessed with it.
So what are you saying? What, just different
I
food
don't know.
coloring?
I don't know if it's food coloring. I don't know if it's the sun. Something's going on there.
A little Magnum PI look there. He's got it going. Darken it up, keep it going. Well, he's got more play off of that.
Oh, unbelievable.
It has gone beyond the baseball world.
Open hole on the left side. Does it get through? It's a base hit. Drives in a run. An RBI single for Giambi. And the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. The shift was on. No one was there. And it's a base hit by Jason Giambi.
Well, we talk about maturity of Josh Beckett. This is an excuse me swing. He actually gets jammed. This is a cutter that stays up in the zone, doesn't cut enough. But for Jason Giambi and the Yankees, you see the hole open here to the left side. That's an accidental excuse me base hit. RBI, Jason. This would be close to watch. And we talk about maturity with Josh Beckett. A hit like that in years past would annoy him enough to become erratic for a few batters at least.
Well, now there's a guy he has to bear down on because Cano is red hot, and he's 9 for 27 lifetime against him. Ties him up, 0-1.
I know for me, I would much rather give up a line drive somewhere than the little dribbler. just felt better knowing that if you gave up a hard single.
Be interesting to see the next time up if they still try to do the power shift on Giambi, or if he chases the Red Sox defense away from that shift.
Time is called. They want to make sure that they get their signs down with Cano, along with Al Leiter and David Cohn. On Michael K. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on My 9. We're in the top of the third inning. Yankees and the Red Sox. Yankees lead 1-0. Now, David, you said before that he doesn't give finger signs when runners are on base. He goes body signs. What's the difference? Can't you steal a body sign?
Well, it's a little more complex and a bit of a harder code to break than the finger signs. Generally, the finger signs have been used throughout the minor leagues all the way down into Little League, and a lot of times it's easier to break that code, whether it's first sign after 2 or first sign indicator. But you see there, no finger signs at all.
Did you use it?
I never used it, but I talked to Veritek when I did play for the Sox, and he did like to use it.
I know Clemens, right, with Posada, he was always, there was some kind of hand signals.
It's harder to break because you just don't see a lot of it. Not many catchers use that sort of a sequence of signs where you don't give the old one's a fastball, two's a curveball, use your fingers to indicate the pitches. You use your chest protector or parts of your body. Sometimes you give one sign and then you start going to your body. And that could be any series of sequences in terms of location and pitch selection.
See, now you saw Veritek there set up late, which catchers are supposed to do, and it's part of the game. If there's a runner at second base and he can get location to the batter, I don't consider that cheating at all. If you have a dumb catcher who's going to set up early and you have a runner at second base, you bet, if you want to give location.
Well, that's gamesmanship.
That's right.
If
it's between the lines, it's gamesmanship. If there's a coach or somebody from the bench whistling, that I consider.
Or a camera in center field.
or lights in center field, telescopes.
1-2.
But to kind of finish that point, Michael, when Veritek he might give one finger sign and then go to his chest protector or his mask and go around the horn on different parts of his body to give signs to Beckett. That's a really hard code to break because you just don't see a lot of it. You're not sure, what the indicator is. One signal right to the leg, to the arms, to the chest protector. I mean, that's quick and that's fast and that's hard to break.
Now, is it hard for the pitcher to get? Not that time. Popped up. Shallow left. Lowry drifts back. Called off by Ellsbury. Ellsbury makes the catch. And that'll do it. But a check swing base hit by Jason Giambi. 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 men left. 1-0 Yankees as we go to the bottom of the third.
Wednesday, Yankees baseball is back on Yes. Spring fever is in full swing as the Yankees return to the diamond for some Grapefruit League action against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Spring training baseball starts Wednesday afternoon at 1, only on Yes.
6. That's the number. 6 out of 10 Americans are now in debt. That's over half the country. So if you're in trouble with debt, you're not alone. If your credit card bills are piling up and your balance just isn't going down, call Consolidated Credit now. They'll get the credit card companies to reduce or eliminate your interest. They'll consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and they'll cut your monthly payment by up to 50%. All that so that you can pay off your debt fast. 6 out of 10 people may be in debt, but one call to Consolidated Credit can get you out. They're the freedom people.
Call toll-free 1-800-227-1783. That's 1-800-227-1783.
Consolidated Credit. When credit card debt is the problem, they're the solution.
Now you can get extra cash. Recycle your old gold that's gathering dust. Call the number on your screen for quick cash. The Gold Kit is absolutely free. Send broken and outdated items like old rings, charms, chains, and more.
Who knew it was this easy to convert my old gold jewelry to cash?
It's safe, it's fast, it's easy, and the Gold Kit is free.
We'll mail you a free personalized Gold Kit for safe shipping in our new virtually indestructible TrueTech mailer for maximum protection. Your check will follow promptly.
I called and got my free gold kit. I sent in my jewelry and they sent me my check.
The gold kit and postage are free. Your satisfaction guaranteed. Here's how it works. Call for your free gold kit, then gather your old gold jewelry, send it in the free postage-paid TrueTech mailer, and get your cash fast.
Gold Kit, it's the best way to get cash for your old gold jewelry.
Don't wait. Take your old gold jewelry and turn it into cash now. Call the number on your screen now or visit goldkit.com.
Class, pass your test forward.
See what happens when kids go to school with the flu? They can easily pass their germs to everyone in the classroom. To keep them healthy, make sure kids get the seasonal flu vaccine right now and novel H1N1 vaccine when it's available. If they're sick, keep them home and teach them to wash their hands often or use hand sanitizer to reduce the spread of germs. A message from your state and local health departments to know what to do about the flu.
Big crowd. Of course, every game here at Fenway is sold out. There's the strike. And the count 0-2. Well, Baratek has certainly gone downhill in terms of offense, but he's so good defensively for them. And as a leader, they keep him in. But he's 13 for his last 93, and he's just not the same hitter as you see right there. He swings and misses. No crime to strike out against Java, but his offense has really taken a dive.
It has, Michael, and as you say, Java Chamberlain's pretty tough. I see Varitek as a guy that's in between. He used to be a very good low ball hitter. And he's not that old, but he has been so caught in between, and the doubt creeps in, and I don't care what kind of veteran player you are, when you start doubting yourself. Even the Red Sox series, when they came into New York, he was just late on fastballs. It looked like he was looking off speed and couldn't pull the trigger. And that's where guys they'll spiral into not even knowing really where to go.
He just turned 36, and the Red Sox have a really tough decision to make. He's a free agent at the end of this year. And if you're Jason Varitek, you're going to want the 4-year deal that Jorge Posada got, because Jorge Posada was 36 when he signed it. But Jorge Posada had a 338 average at the end of the year and had his best season. And Varitek's going to come off this. It's going to be a tough call.
Well,
all the way.
If he's looking for what Jorge got, I just can't see the Red Sox doing that. For as much as they love him, he's the captain, and the staff loves him. You know, 217, 8 home runs right now. Isn't nearly what Posada did last year.
David, you were on this team. Is he that important to the team?
Well, there's a reason that C's on his uniform. He is truly the captain of the Red Sox. Well, the thing with Varitek is at this point in his career, timing is everything. As you said, Michael, Jorge Posada had great timing last year with his season. Prompted the Yankees to give him a 4-year deal. A lot of rumors that the Mets were interested in Posada. Varitek loves Boston. He loves playing here.
But one thing that might play against him, Red Sox could say, well, wait a minute. The Yankees gave Posada a 4-year deal at the age of 36, and he broke down. So they might say, we're not going to go through the same thing. So that might hurt Varitek, in addition to having a bad season. The 2-2 popped up. A lot of room in foul territory. Is there enough? No, it's a couple rows back.
You know, Michael, later in my career, I almost went on a series of 1-year deals, went year to year with the Yankees at the end of my career because I wanted to stay with the Yankees. And sometimes you got to change your thinking a little bit. Varitek's going to be in that position. How bad do you want to stay with the Sox? From the Red Sox perspective, if you're going to get rid of that guy right there, who's going to replace him? That's a big part of the equation. Jason's going to probably have to lower his sights a little bit depending on what the organization wants to do.
There's a swing and a miss. Coco Crisp down on strikes. Jacoby Ellsbury grounds one to Jason Giambi, and a nice 1-2-3 inning for Java Chamberlain. We have played 3. It's 1-0 Yankees.
The Bombers are back. This spring, Yes has championship coverage of a championship team. Catch over a dozen spring training games, including a World Series rematch with the Phillies and the Future Stars game. Plus our exclusive season preview show, Yankees 2010.
The bullpen was a strength of the team last year. It'll be even stronger this year.
The countdown to opening day begins on Yes.
For over 30 years, I've used the Total Gym for one reason. It does work.
It works.
It works. It works.
It works.
It works.
8 to 10 minutes a day can trim, tone, and even sculpt those problem areas that plague all of us. And take my word for it, you will shed pounds using the Total Gym.
I've lost 18 pounds using the Total Gym.
I've lost a total of 30 pounds.
I have lost 45 pounds.
I have lost 28 pounds total.
I have lost over 70 pounds on our Total Gym.
I lost 92 pounds.
Using the Total Gym, I lost 177 pounds. It's just amazing what I accomplished.
It's fast, fun, and invigorating. And most important, it works.
Now, for the first time ever, you can try a Total Gym absolutely risk-free for an entire 2 months. 2 months? Wow. Good. But believe me, it won't take 2 months. You'll be hooked on it the first time you try it.
Are you stressed over credit cards and other debts? Maybe through no fault of your own? Imagine how it would feel to have that weight lifted right off your shoulders. Well, here's some good news from America's trusted name in debt relief. Care One providers have already helped over 4.5 million people in debt, and we can help you today. Just call this toll-free number to speak with a friendly representative, and in just minutes, you'll get your free debt relief analysis.
Regardless of your situation, Care One has an option for you.
We are there to help, and we do that in a way that's empathetic and supportive without judging their financial situation.
The credit card companies, I feel, are trying to keep you in debt and trying to keep it so you owe them money forever. And Care One is a good way to get you out of that and get you out of it fast.
A big burden was lifted off of my shoulders.
Care One threw me a lifeline. Call Care One. They will help you.
Get debt relief from a company you can trust. Just call the toll-free number today.
You know, ideas and inventions come from people in all walks of life. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? If so, InventHelp has information to help you get started. InventHelp is America's largest inventor service firm. Call and learn how to try to submit your idea to companies through InventHelp's data bank and apply for a patent. Even if your idea is just to improve an existing product, call for InventHelp's free information.
For your inventor's information, call 1-800-227-1299.
The Yankees are back, and YesNetwork.com is your source for in-depth coverage from spring training with daily video updates, interviews, blogs, and photo galleries. Plus, follow Yes Network on Twitter for the latest updates. YesNetwork.com, your Yankees spring training home.
It's time for the trivia question. On September 16th of 07, Jabba Chamberlain gave up his first career earned run on a solo home run in Boston. Who hit that home run? Find out in the bottom of the fourth. The first pitch to Melky Cabrera is outside 1-0. Well, here's a little intrigue. MajorLeagueBaseball.com is reporting that Xavier Nady and Damaso Marte have been traded by the Pirates. Where they've been traded, MLB.com is not saying. Maybe he doesn't know. But supposedly during the Pirate game, those two were hugging their teammates in the dugout and then obviously heading up to the clubhouse. As soon as we know where they've traded, where they have been traded, we'll let you know. The 2-0. Those are two players that we've heard rumors about that the Mets would want, the Yankees would want, the Red Sox would want. So we'll see exactly what their landing spot is. Maybe they're separate deals.
Marte is probably the #1 left-hander on the market. He's got nasty stuff, closer-type stuff, low three-quarter delivery, sought after by everybody in the game.
Line drive, base hit to center field off the bat of Melky Cabrera.
Nady too. Nady's scrappy right-handed hitter. Their little cut fastball stays middle of the plate. See Cabrera's head down, throws his hands, nice swing. That's a cutter for Josh Beckett. Wants that ball in. Cut fastball is to resemble a fastball, but cut late and in off the plate. Third, inner third, off the plate inside. The pitch was too much of the middle of the plate.
was swung on a miss. Throw to second. Got him. What a throw by Varitek and a quick tag by Pedroia.
That's one thing Jason Varitek can still do. He still calls a good game, and he can still throw. His defensive skills are still top, are still front line. You see Melky take a quick peek back. Nice quick tag by Pedroia right there. Swinging strike, not an easy pitch to handle as Varitek kind of gets a high throw. You see a quick tag by Pedroia. Angel Hernandez is right there.
Wow.
I thought where that tag was, he may have been safe, but now that too close.
Nice tag by Pedroia right there. Quick tag, get the glove back up, show the umpire the glove. A lot of times you could sell a call to an umpire as a second baseman receiving that throw from Varitek.
You know, Varitek, 19% of the runners he's thrown out. Handles the staff. He's into scout reports. 25% is about the league average for Major League catcher, so he's a little bit underneath that. There's various reasons why. That was a good, strong throw. Pitching staff, some guys don't hold runners as good.
There's a strike. And the count 1-2. .64 pitches by Beckett. Remember, he threw 10 to the first batter of the game, Johnny Damon. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. And Molina down on strikes. Fifth strikeout for Beckett.
He's got a big dose of fastballs and then this big, hard curveball. It's so tight. Normally there's a little loop, but Josh, when you get good velocity and good spin on the breaking ball, comes out of the hand about the same level as your eyes and then drops off as you see. That's 12-6. Break to it. Power curveball.
Yeah, he's got one he can throw for a strike early in the count, one he can bounce or go for a strikeout that looks like a strike and misses late.
A view from above here at Fenway Park. The pitch to Gardner is a strike. This ballpark opened up in 1912, right around the time that the Titanic went down. The official date of the opening, April 20th, 1912.
Are they building more seats somewhere?
Yes, they're trying. Well, they're trying. I think they're maxing out, but they might get some down the right field line.
I think right behind, driving in today, they're building something in this area here that's going to, or behind the Green Monster.
I think there might be a bleacher bar out there. I believe they cut the ribbon tonight. The new ownership group is really trying to squeeze every last ounce of revenue out of this place because they just don't think that they could build another Fenway Park.
High school bleachers that you just saw there, right? Down the right field line.
The 2-1.
Yeah, down the right field line, I think, is where they're talking about extending the upper deck on down eventually. You see those almost bleacher seats Al was talking about, almost right down that right field line. I think they're going to extend that upper deck on down towards that Budweiser sign.
That one is looped into left field. Right there is Ellsbury. And David talked about giving and taking away. Well, you can play shallow here at Fenway Park because the wall is not too far back. One hit and the caught stealing, no one left on base.
He was kryptonite green for his record-breaking dunks. Kryptonite! Now he's officially Celtic green. Tomorrow, the Nets make a quick trip to Boston for a midday matinee against the star-studded Celtics. Nets, Celtics. It all starts tomorrow at 12:30 with the Nets pregame.
Only on Yes.
Know that struggle to lift your neck and back with crunches? No more. Introducing Ab Rocket, the ab training secret that takes painful, boring ab exercises and makes them easy, fun, and effective. Just look at the results these people achieved in just 30 days with the Ab Rocket training program. With Ab Rocket, just sit and relax on the backrest and rock back. Your neck and back are supported on the contoured backrest while it provides resistance as you relax back, so you don't just fall backwards. Then, the resistance assists you with that difficult upward motion, giving you an easy liftoff. Plus, the soft cushion rollers on the backrest glide slide back and forth for an incredible massage. Today, Ab Rocket can be yours to try for 30 days for just $14.95. And we can ship it to you for free. You get the innovative Ab Rocket machine, the Blast Away the Calories meal plan, plus a 20-minute fun rockin' cardio dance party to help you lose pounds and inches fast. Call now to take advantage of this amazing offer to try it for 30 days for just $14.95, and we'll even ship it to you for free. Call now.
Attention if you have diabetes.
Hello, I'm Alan Thicke. As the father of a child with diabetes, it's important that I keep up to date with the latest in treatments and technology. That's why I'm happy to tell you about a breakthrough in diabetes care through CCS Medical. You don't need to stick your fingers anymore. This new meter allows you to test on your arm, so it's virtually pain-free. Plus, it uses gold test strips. Real laser-etched gold in every strip provides the ideal testing surface for one of the most accurate readings possible. Best of all, CCS Medical can send you this meter at no cost. With CCS Medical, they deliver your diabetes supplies to your home. They work with Medicare or your insurance to process the paperwork. They even have nurses certified in diabetes available to answer questions. And for a limited time, CCS Medical will also send you a diabetes cookbook. All this from a company trusted and recommended by thousands of doctors around the country. Call CCS Medical today.
So, Billy, how was your day at school?
Well, it started with me getting teased on the bus. Then, after gym, I got picked on in the locker room. At recess, I hid under the bleachers because I knew I was going to get the crap beat out of me. I'm scared all the time, and I cry myself to sleep every night.
So, Billy, how was your day at school?
Great, Dad.
Many parents don't know their kids are being bullied because it's the last thing kids want to talk about. To learn more, call Child Abuse Prevention Services or go to capsli.org.
Let's take a look at the answer to the trivia question. Who did Jabba Chamberlain give up his first career earned run to? A solo home run in Boston. Who hit that home run? Pitch to Dustin Pedroia is high. Mike Lowell, brand name. You're going to give up a home run. Pedroia is becoming a brand name since June 14th. He's hitting .441 since June 14th, so that's a long haul. High fly ball to right field. Abreu is there. One away. Well, here we have some information now. SI.com is reporting that the Yankees have acquired Xavier Nady and Damaso Marte for Ross Ollendorf, Jose Tabata, who is a top prospect in the Yankee minor league system, Phil Koch, and another minor leaguer. Now, the Yankees are not confirming this trade, so we are just telling you that this is being reported by SI.com. We told you earlier that they pulled Nady and Marte out of the game. And it's a deal that's impressive when you think about what the Yankees need, what they were looking for. Nady is having an unbelievable season. Marte, as David said, one of the best left-handers in the game and a guy who can actually close. David Ortiz with a ground ball off the lip of the grass and booted by Cano. That's what happens when you play deep on a shift. You have to deal with that outfield lip, and that's where the ball hit and took a bad hop.
Well, that ball was stung harder than I think Robinson Cano figured, but watch at the very end that hop up, as Michael just said. As soon as off the dirt, you see the little lip there. It's about an inch or two rise up to the outfield grass. Rolling, hits the lip. Almost hit him in the lip.
Well, that's an E4. All right, now let's talk about this trade again, which the Yankees are not confirming but being reported by SI.com. David, we start with you. Marte, Furno 3.47. They just changed it to a hit, by the way. He has 5 saves, 47 strikeouts, and 46 2/3. We were actually talking earlier. You said one of the things the Yankees need is a lefty in the bullpen. Now they've got a class lefty in the bullpen.
Well, they really do, and a power arm from a low 3/4 angle. He's got nasty stuff, especially on left-handed batters. He's actually in the Yankees organization at one point early in his career. The Yankees have been trying to get him back ever since. You know, if this trade is confirmed, it does go down. You know, that is a huge advantage for the Yankees in the bullpen, and Xavier Nady as well, that right-handed bat. The fact that those numbers are good, and he's a well-thought-of player, but he also adds to the Yankees' right-handed punch that they are a little short on right now.
Gives good at bats too, David. I haven't faced Nady. Remember earlier in his career with San Diego, fights a lot of pitches off. very respectable 330 hitter. I don't know if he's that, but he's certainly in that 300 range. Marte with the White Sox, boy, he almost carried that bullpen a few years ago when they won the World Series or during that time period. And all along, you know, the Yankees have been trying to mix and match the lefty matchups and saying Ramirez is a guy that gets lefties out, but you know, it's semantics. I don't care if you're the opposing manager. You know you have a dominant left-hander sitting down in the pen. You know, it just changes the strategy as to, you know, who you're going to bring in or not. That's going to make it easier for Joe Girardi to know that tough lefty batter, David Ortiz, you got Marte coming in right down the stretch. It's going to mean a lot. And that's just not a left-handed arm, as David says. That he's quality.
Popped up, shallow left. Jeter called off by Gardner, and he makes the play for the second out. Ozzie Guillen, the manager of the White Sox, once was quoted as saying that he cried himself to sleep when the White Sox lost Marte. That's how good he thinks Tomaso Marte is. And as for Nady, Omar Minaya of the Mets never wanted to trade Nady. He had to get a right-handed reliever when Duano Sanchez got into that car accident and ended up getting Roberto Hernandez and Oliver Perez. Perez was the throw-in, turned out to be the big part of the trade, but I know the Mets were looking into acquiring or reacquiring Nady. So again, nothing official yet. The Yankees are not confirming this, and deals like this are pending physicals and things like that. But if this is a deal, as SI is reporting, that does go down, Yankees solved a lot of problems with one fell swoop.
Well, Marte was the, you know, as general managers across the league sort of have their depth chart of players available in trades. Marte was the #1 lefty, without a doubt, across the board. And Xavier Nady was right below Holiday from Colorado Rockies, who's regarded as probably the best outfielder out there that might be available in a trade, although there's speculation on that. But you go down the list, Nady's right below that as far as a right-handed bat. So that's pretty good pickings if it does come true and the Yankees do confirm it.
Well, if it is true, guys, the Yankees made a great trade.
Well, the Yankee list of things that they might have needed: right-handed corner outfield bat, lefty in the bullpen, and a starter. And the trade deadline's next Thursday, so they have plenty of time if they want to go get a starter. Or we were just looking at the Yankee minor league report. Ian Kennedy pitched a one-hitter. Maybe he could be that starter that they're looking at. I think one thing that this 6-game winning streak has done, it made the Yankees, the Yankee organization, all the brain trust realize, hey, we can win this. This is not something that's an impossible dream. This is a season that we can win. The 3-1. There's a strike. Lowell doesn't like it. Thought it was up and in. The count now 3-2. And that'll release Ortiz at first. Giambi's telling Chamberlain, I'm going to play behind Big Papi.
We've talked about home plate umpire Marty Foster. Likes to call strikes. He's more of a pitcher's umpire. The high breaking ball, he gets the call there. I think Terry Francona and maybe even Marty Foster knows maybe he jumped the gun on that one just a bit. Missed outside with the slider, so a walk to Lowell. And the Red Sox have runners on first and second and 2 outs.
Take a look at the pitch by pitch from Java to Mike Lowell. Fastball down the way, gets ahead, tries to pitch away again. A guy likes to pull the ball. Lowell does, comes inside, overthrows that fastball, comes with a slider, gets in a bad count, gets a favorable call there. That breaking ball looked high, comes back with the slider, clearly wanted to get him out with the breaking ball. You do not throw a 3-1 then 3-2 breaking ball unless you have intention that that's the pitch you think you can get him out with.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. J.D. Drew takes a strike. Count 0-1.
Well, I think you're right, Michael. Back to the Yankees thinking and the potential of this big blockbuster trade that we talked about before. You see J.D. Drew's numbers there. I think the Yankees feel like they can solve the starting problems internally. You know, they've got some starting pitching prospects in the minor leagues that have risen up through the system. And, Alfredo Aceves is a guy that's kind of been on the radar and moving up the ladder, been promoted to AAA. Brian Cashman, the GM, was down there to watch him pitch specifically the other night. So if the Yankees are looking for another starter, don't know if that's the thinking or not, but if they do need another starter, they feel like they can solve that internally.
And again, they have till next week if they want to try to solve it with a trade. Tabata is a very highly thought of outfield prospect. But if you're going to get quality, you've got to give quality away, as the Milwaukee Brewers proved. In the deal for CC Sabathia, they gave away an outstanding first base prospect. And look what Sabathia has done. He's 4-0.
And a big 4-0. Complete games, shutouts. I mean, you talk about bang for your buck. Milwaukee's gotten it from Sabathia. And he's just lifted that entire franchise and the city.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Chamberlain gets Drew to get out of trouble. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We've played 4 here at Fenway Park. Good game, good pitchers duel. 1-0 Yanks.
You value your friends. So does DirecTV. Bob's worth 100. So are Carrie, Ann, and Sue. For every friend you refer to DirecTV, you get $100, and they get $100 on top of our new customer offer. Just give your account number to your friends and have them call 1-877-4-100 each. They must have your account number when they order. This offer's only good for a limited time, so hurry. Then celebrate and watch the Benjamins stack up.
Running keeps me sane.
Running is a great thing to do. It's something you could do for yourself.
I started running once I quit smoking. I'm able to raise money for cancer patients, give back to those who are less fortunate.
He wakes me up, so I have to get out of bed no matter what. And then I say, let's just go. I love Jackrabbit because they tailor to my needs as a runner.
The staff is phenomenal. They're very knowledgeable about the products.
It's the place to go, whether you're a weekend warrior or you're a world-class athlete.
I love Jackrabbit.
Johnny Damon leads off against Josh Beckett. There's a strike. Count 0-1. Hit sharply and past the diving Pedroia into right field. So a base hit for Johnny Damon. Leadoff runner on here in the 5th.
Johnny Damon came off the DL and he looked pretty good, really. His at-bats, that's a breaking ball down and away. And Johnny's able to go out, get in front of it, and hook it right in the hole and hit it hard. And Johnny Damon's going well. He hits everything. Breaking balls, fastballs. Didn't want a rehab assignment when he came off the DL. Was ready to go, forced his way back in the lineup.
Here's Derek Jeter, single to center in the 1st, grounded back to the mound in the 3rd. Yankees lead 1-0, top of the 5th, first of 3 between these two teams. You think these two teams have a history? This is the 2000th game that they've played against each other. The Yankees lead the series 1,090 wins, 895 losses, 14 ties. That's in the regular season. Ties. Hit slowly towards second. Pedroia gets the force at second as Jeter reaches on the fielder's choice.
Boy, gutsy play by Pedroia right there on a softly hit ball by Jeter, and Johnny Damon with a big jump. Went flying by Pedroia there, and quick decision making. See Jeter gets jam shot. Johnny Damon's by that ball, and he doesn't have a lot of time. And boy, there's not a lot of margin for error on that play. And Pedroia, a gutsy play and a quick decision.
So Jeter on first with 1 out. He's a threat to go. Here's Bobby Abreu, who's 2 for 2. That's what Beckett does. Beckett can manage a game. You get on base, he reaches back for a little something extra. He's thrown 73 pitches so far tonight.
On that game, his last game against the Yankees, he gave up 3 runs. It was all in the first, much more calm disposition out there. And thought that swing and bunt single that Giambi got could have affected him, but so far it has not.
Count 0-1. And he knows this stat. Beckett's thrown 17 of 21 first pitch strikes, so he figured he'd get something to hit, but that one had a little bit of a curve in it. Hit sharply right at Youkilis, steps on the bag, double play. So the Yankees are hitting the ball against Beckett, but not really much to show for it. The only run they've scored, a little check swing, Bleeder through a vacated left side. Nice play by Youkilis, 1-0, we're halfway through, Yankees lead.
Do you have what it takes?
Log on to EmmaBowenFoundation.com and find out.
Jed Lowry will lead off against Jabba Chamberlain. And there's a strike. Job has now struck out at least 5 batters in 7 straight starts. It's a 1-0 Yankee lead. Bottom third of the order for the Red Sox against Chamberlain, the 0-1. Job's pitch count somewhat reasonable right now at 61 pitches.
Java's in good shape pitch count wise, 38 strikes. Almost a 62% strike ratio to balls.
Now you see Jed Lowry up there. He's playing shortstop, and he's out of the Red Sox system. And there are whispers that he's the shortstop. Julio Lugo, they won a championship with him, but he's really not a good defender. And they like Lowry, and filling in for the injured Lugo, he's in there. Nice backhanded scoop by Giambi. Steps on the bag, 1 away.
Yeah, that's a good point with Lowry, as we'll see the replay here. They really like this kid as a hot prospect. Sitting behind Mike Lowe at third base in the minor leagues, though. Giambi comes up with a nifty little short hop and an easy cruise over to the bag to beat Lowry.
64 pitches for Jabba Chamberlain. He had 20 in the fourth, 4 so far here in the fifth. Pitch to Varitek is a strike.
We talk about the defense. Jed Lowry, better defensive shortstop than Lugo. If you really think about when David Ortiz was out, it put Manny Ramirez as the DH, and their outfield defense improved. Jacoby Ellsbury in left normally, and Speed in center with Coco Crisp and J.D. Drew. Pitching and defense go hand in hand.
But you know what, guys? If you look at this Red Sox order right now, without Manny, and before that it was Manny and without Ortiz, it's not a really scary offensive team. There are some ways to pitch around them. There are some holes down there. It's not your typical old-time Red Sox team where you came in and you thought they might score 8 or 9 runs. Now you can pitch around some of these people in this lineup. Count 1 and 2.
Well, you're right. The way that Lowry, who knows how it'll come out. He started 5 games in a row now, 292. We mentioned Jason Varitek at 217. Coco Crisp doesn't really scare you. So the 7, 8, 9. That's a lot of teams, Michael. You know, to really throw an American League lineup is 7, 8 deep, whereas the Yankees were a couple years ago when Robinson Cano, batting 343, was batting 9th. As Jim Leland, my old manager, said, it's Murderer's Row and then Cano.
Well, now Cano is batting 6th and the bottom of the Yankee order. Not as scary as it once was with Cabrera, Molina, and Gardner. The 2-2. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. A strikeout of Varitek, second time tonight. Had a shot there of Terry Francona, who managed the American League team to victory in 15 innings at Yankee Stadium in the All-Star game. And Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez could not speak more highly of anyone than they did about Francona, the way he handled them coming out of the game, middle of the inning, so that they could get ovations. And Francona would not sit behind Joe Girardi's desk in the Yankee clubhouse because he just didn't think it was right. He got dressed on the couch. And Terry just gets it. Terry's a good man, and he's won 2 championships here with the Red Sox, and it hadn't been done for 86 years. Count 1 and 2.
Well, he's a baseball guy. Grew up in baseball with his father, Tito Francona. And has learned his years with the Phillies as manager.
That one is chopped toward short. Jeter gets a nice hop, and that'll do it. So 1-2-3 inning for Jabba Chamberlain and the Yankees. Red Sox go down in order, and we go to the top of the 6th.
He was kryptonite green for his record-breaking dunks. Kryptonite! Now he's officially Celtic green. Tomorrow, the Nets make a quick trip to Boston for a midday matinee against the star-studded Celtics. Nets, Celtics. It all starts tomorrow at 12:30 with the Nets pregame.
Only on Yes.
Are you stressed over credit cards and other debts? Maybe through no fault of your own? Imagine how it would feel to have that weight lifted right off your shoulders. Well, here's some good news from America's trusted name in debt relief. Care One providers have already helped over 4.5 million people in debt, and we can help you today. Just call this toll-free number to speak with a friendly representative, and in just minutes, you'll get your free debt relief analysis.
Regardless of your situation, Care One has an option for you.
We are there to help, and we do that in a way that's empathetic and supportive without judging their financial situation.
The credit card companies, I feel, are trying to keep you in debt and trying to keep it so you owe them money forever. And Care One is a good way to get you out of that and get you out of it fast.
A big burden was lifted off of my shoulders.
Care One threw me a lifeline. Call Care One. They will help you.
Get debt relief from a company you can trust. Just call the toll-free number today.
6. That's the number. 6 out of 10 Americans are now in debt. That's over half the country. So if you're in trouble with debt, you're not alone. If your credit card bills are piling up and your balance just isn't going down, call Consolidated Credit now. They'll get the credit card companies to reduce or eliminate your interest. They'll consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and they'll cut your monthly payment by up to 50%. All that so that you can pay off your debt fast. 6 out of 10 people may be in debt, but one call to Consolidated Credit can get you out. They're the freedom people.
Call toll-free 1-800-227-1783. That's 1-800-227-1783.
Consolidated Credit. When credit card debt is the problem, they're the solution.
We all know Haiti was hit by a devastating earthquake.
Tens of thousands of Haitians have died, and that number is rising.
We don't have time to sit around and talk about what we can do to help.
Because they continue to run short of food and water.
Medical supplies.
Support for relief workers. There's still something every one of us can do.
You can help by donating today.
By giving now.
Because one more thing they're running short of is time.
Neither side was able to change the 1-0 lead that the Yankees held over the Red Sox in the 6th inning. Beckett took the mound against the Yankees in the 7th, facing Molina, Gardner, and Damon.
Jose Molina leads off here in the 7th inning. It's 1-0 Yankees. And Beckett deals, grounded up the middle. Lowry cuts over, makes the play, fires, 1 pitch, 1 out. 1-0 Yankees lead, 1-9-0. 0-3-0 for the Red Sox. Beckett's season high in hits allowed 11. He gave up 11 hits to the Orioles on May 13th. So the Yankees with 9 through 6 1/3. Here's Brett Gardner. He's 0 for 2, struck out looking and flew out to left. Shows bunt, pulls back, takes a strike.
I like it. A little butcher boy. Pitchers used to do that.
The butcher boy, huh? The old butcher boy.
Bunt, third base, Lowell comes in, you slap it right past him.
Was that your signature move, Al?
You know I got a triple like that. As pathetic as I was.
Count 0-2.
You pitched me tough when we faced each other, though. I'll tell you that. You were throwing me hooks.
I had 1 strikeout. I had to get 1 somewhere. You have 0 strikeouts coming to the 3rd inning. Get the pitcher up.
the 0-2. Almost got a piece of Johnny Damon in the on-deck circle. Johnny saying focus to Gardner. That has got to be the longest walk to a dugout in any major league park. I mean, third base dugout is practically up the right field line. It's a long walk if you strike out. Gardner lines one to center field, and right there is crisp. 2 away.
Gardner's actually had a couple of good at-bats back-to-back, a couple of line drives. Bullet to left field, and that was a bullet to center. No luck, though. He's been trying to get his batting average up, get any sort of way to get on base.
He's about to throw his 100th pitch. Good strike-to-ball ratio, 71 strikes and 28 out of the zone. Damon is 1 for 3 against Beckett. And the pitch high, 1-0. And a strike.
Johnny Damon hit .335 against right-handed batters this year, only .270 versus left.
Such an integral part of this Yankee offense. When he goes, the Yankees go. When the Yankees win, he hits .382. 41 of the losses, he got a .233. Since coming off the disabled list, he's 3 for 15.
Well, you could say when he hits, the Yankees win, rather than the other way around. 2-1. David, you have some memory, by the way. You only faced Leiter once, and you remembered that you struck out against him. Well, you also walked once. How did you walk him, Al?
Come on, you saw my game.
Kept throwing me hooks, that's why.
And you against David Cohn, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
They were looking, and they were close. Got ripped off.
Johnny Damon walks. David, did you ever give up a home run to a pitcher?
Yes, on a Butcher Boy, by the way. The pitcher for Pittsburgh, Robinson.
He's good. Oh, he was good.
Don Robinson?
No, not Don.
No,
the other
Teddy.
one, Jeff. Jeff Robinson. He was a blonde-haired relief or starter, kind of a 2 or 3 year guy in the big leagues. But yeah, he did. He fake bunt. He actually handled the bat well, and he was faking bunt. He pulled it back and wrapped one down around the foul pole on me.
Not kidding. I did that. I hit a triple off Brad Penny.
The Butcher Boy.
The Butcher Boy. Fake bunt.
Fake bunt.
Swing.
Pull it back.
Pitch to Jeter. Breaking ball a little bit low and inside, 1-0. 1-0 Yankees, just as advertised. Job of Chamberlain against Josh Beckett. They've both done an outstanding job at a small ballpark. Some action in the Red Sox bullpen. Lefty and a righty out there. Now 1-1. Javier Lopez and Manny Del Carmen. Del Carmen's from Boston. What a thrill it must be for him to be pitching for the Red Sox. We might see Lopez if Jeter gets on. They bring in Lopez to face Abreu, or maybe they try to have Beckett navigate Abreu and then Rodriguez, and if it gets down to Giambi, then you bring in the lefty. Well, Beckett just wants to get Jeter and not worry about it. Crowd very quiet here at Fenway.
And we've seen Derek Jeter, his numbers start to creep up. People talking about maybe an off year for Jeter, but you get the feeling with Jeter at the end of the year, his numbers are going to be pretty close to where they always are.
Grounded foul. Scooped up by Meacham.
Jeter's not only swinging the bat better, he's been driving the ball a lot better recently. A little souvenir for a fan over the dugout.
Meacham, I wonder if it was an accident. He found a Yankee fan.
Jeter hit .295 over his last 10 games. 13 for 44. He's been driving the ball a lot better. We've seen him hit some doubles, driving that ball in the gap.
Runner goes, 1-2 is grounded foul. So Damon will head back.
Well, Jeter's a career .316 hitter. Right now he's hitting .285, and we were talking for a long time about Jeter's having an off year. He's 20, 30 points down below his average, his career numbers. This guy's going to grind it out. At the end of the year, he's going to be pretty close to those numbers he's done throughout his career.
Runner goes again. Pitch in the dirt, stolen base, standing for Damon. So now a runner in scoring position, and last year Jeter hit .418 in these spots.
It's a good pitch to run on. Breaking ball in the dirt. It's a good sign for Johnny Damon. 14 stolen base, really running well earlier in the year. Was healthy again, then had some foot problems, and then crashed into the wall. Had a shoulder injury. As you mentioned now, Johnny Damon, he's the igniter. He knows it. When he gets on base, he can run, he can steal bags. Sets the tone for this Yankee offense.
2-2. Popped up. Shallow right. Drew will make the play, and that'll do it here in the seventh. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left at the end of 6.5. Seventh inning stretch time, 1-0 Yanks.
The Yankees are back, and YesNetwork.com is your ultimate source for in-depth coverage from spring training. Our team will be on the scene in Tampa, bringing you daily video updates, interviews, blogs, and photo galleries. Plus, follow Yes Network on Twitter for the latest updates and breaking news. YesNetwork.com, your Yankees spring training home.
My new computer started out fast, really fast, but now it's only kind of fast.
Hold on, let me check my email. It's not loading. Let me try this again.
If your computer doesn't run like it's supposed to, if your internet connection is unreliable, even on a so-called fast connection, even if your brand new computer isn't as fast as it ought to be, you might not have any real problem at all. FinallyFast.com free performance test will immediately diagnose any hidden problems and show you how to get more speed on any computer. Plus, FinallyFast.com provides you the software you need to get your computer up to peak performance by getting rid of all the nasty junk files, spyware, adware, and registry errors that make even the best computers freeze and crash. Find out why Ascentive has been featured in Newsweek, Forbes, and the Wall Street Journal. You could save hundreds, even thousands of dollars by taking the Finally Fast performance test first.
I'm booted up. What's that URL I should look at? FinallyFast.com. Hey, my computer's fast. Finally. FinallyFast.com.
For over 30 years, I've used the Total Gym for one reason. It does work.
It works.
It works. It works.
It works.
And it works.
8 to 10 minutes a day can trim, tone, and even sculpt those problem areas that plague all of us. And take my word for it, you will shed pounds using the Total Gym.
I've lost 18 pounds using the Total Gym.
I've lost a total of 30 pounds.
I have lost 45 pounds.
I have lost 28 pounds total.
I have lost over 70 pounds on our Total Gym.
I lost 92 pounds.
Using the Total Gym, I lost 177 pounds. It's just amazing what I accomplished.
It's fast, fun, and invigorating. And most important, it works.
Now, for the first time ever, you can try a Total Gym absolutely risk-free for an entire 2 months. 2 months? Wow. Good. But believe me, it won't take 2 months. You'll be hooked on it the first time you try it.
You know, ideas and inventions come from people in all walks of life. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? If so, InventHelp has information to help you get started. InventHelp is America's largest inventor service firm. Call and learn how to try to submit your idea to companies through InventHelp's databank and apply for a patent. Even if your idea is just to improve an existing product, call for InventHelp's free information.
For your inventor's information, call 1-800-227-1299.
Kevin Youkilis will lead off. Josh Beckett looking for a run. Pitch is outside 1-0. It's just 1-0 Yankees as we go to the bottom of the 7th. 1-0. Outside 2-0. Youkilis has struck out and flied to left. Putting together another very good season out of the Red Sox farm system. Patient hitter, gets on base. And that is up and in, and Youkilis looks out at Jabba Chamberlain, and that's not the first time that Chamberlain and Youkilis have not seen eye to eye. Let's look back. This was at Yankee Stadium. Same game, same at bat. And they threw out Chamberlain. And now it looks like a warning has been issued to both teams. And this was earlier this year here at Fenway Park. I guess that was just now, I'm sorry.
Foul ball?
Now, one thing I don't understand, it's a 1-0 game. Why would this happen? Why would he want to throw up and in at the guy?
No, it's a 2-0 pitch. It looked like it just sailed on him and got away from him. And as Al said, it looked like Youkilis did get out of the way, or maybe they called it a foul ball off the bat.
Let's see.
That's off the bat. I thought for initially it looked like it might have hit him in the helmet, but it looks like it catches the bat. As Youkilis is still standing by home plate, that's dangerously close. No pitcher wants to throw at any hitter's head. It's a 2-0 pitch. Definitely got away from him. See Josh Beckett's reaction right there. That's the kind of guy he is. Not afraid to protect his hitters. But, you know, there's really no intent there until you look at the history. You know, that's what brings up the speculation, is the history between Youkilis and Jabba's young career.
Well, Michael, you started by saying, why in a 1-0 game in the 7th inning, Jabba Chamberlain's pitching a gem, that he would do that on purpose? I can't imagine. It's not smart.
Count says 3-0 on the board, but I don't think it was 3-0 as he swings. So I think it's 2-2 right now. But the scoreboard does say 3-0 because that had to be a foul ball. It hit something. If it hit his helmet, obviously he'd be at first base. So we have it at 2-2. And now the scoreboard is caught up. It is 2-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Youkilis down on strikes.
Well, certainly in a 1-0 game, you know, Jabba's not going to try to put the tying run on base. We'll look at the sequence here. But he falls behind 2-0. Tries the breaking ball, slider misses away. Fastball down and away. Well, here's the 2-0 pitch, up and in. Another slider on a 2-1 pitch, gets him to foul it off, goes back to the slider and strikes him out. And at that point, you could see Youkilis is very frustrated.
And there's a strike.
But the only thing that brings this up are obviously the history between Youkilis and Jabba, and the fact that the pitch was so close to his head. But, you know, I don't see any intent there at all in that particular pitch.
Well, it doesn't make sense, right?
Not
on 1-0.
Not on a 1-0 game, late in the game here. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Jabba's got 95 pitches right now. He's got a chance to get maybe even go another inning.
And the 0-2. Strike 3 right down the middle. And Lowell down looking.
Jabba's been very sharp. You see here as Mike Lowell just gets locked up on a slider right there, right down the middle. He reads fastball the whole way, and that's the thing about Jabba. Even when his slider's up, it breaks quickly. It fools guys. It still has tight spin on it. That's all about the history right there. That's what they're thinking.
And there's a strike to J.D. Drew.
Good curveball there by Java. We've seen him mix in several curveballs today. Had good command of it.
Swing and a miss. 0-2. So far, this has been his best inning yet. He has retired 9 in a row after the walk to Lowell in the 4th. There's that slider, 1-2.
It almost seems like Java gets stronger as the game goes on. That's what you know, at the 100 pitch point, he's as sharp as he's been all night.
1-2 pitch. Missed low on the count, 2-2.
That's why you love Java as a starter. I mean, there is no more debate. This guy is a starter now. And this is why he really retains his stuff and almost gets stronger later in the games.
2-2 pitch. Driven out to right field. Abreu right there, and he'll put it away for the final out of another 1-2-3 inning. So Kevin Youkilis not too thrilled. He strikes out. Takes one up and in as well. Java Chamberlain has retired 10 in a row. We take a great pitcher's duel to the 8th inning. 1-0 Yankees.
Will bankruptcy put an end to the harassing calls from creditors?
We're struggling to pay our bills.
Is bankruptcy an option?
Can I possibly keep my house?
What about keeping my car?
Can bankruptcy stop foreclosure proceedings?
Yes. My law firm may help you get a fresh start while protecting your home, your car, and your peace of mind. Call us for a free consultation.
Will I ever be able to get credit again?
Yes, because bankruptcy isn't the end. It's a new beginning. In today's economic times, are you struggling to pay your mortgage, credit card, or medical bills? I'm David Pankin. Before you enter credit counseling payment plans you can't afford, find out how bankruptcy may help you get out of debt and get the fresh financial start you need. Immediate financial relief could be a phone call away. Get the whole picture. Call 888-9600. As always, your consultation is confidential and free. And remember, bankruptcy is not the end, it's a new beginning.
It's time to take a look at the Yankees in-game box score. There are 9 hits in there, just 1 run scored by Bobby Abreu. And the RBI off the bat of Jason Giambi, a dribbler through the left side that was vacated because of the shift. Alex Rodriguez has 2 hits, Abreu has 2, Damon 1, Jeter 1. Everybody has hits except for Molina and Gardner. And the Yankees managed just 1 run against Josh Beckett. Now they don't have to deal with Josh Beckett as the Red Sox make the call to the bullpen as Lopez will come in, Javier Lopez on a relief of Josh Beckett. Lopez has done a nice job, 44 games, 2-0, 2.87. 39 hits in 37 and 2/3 innings. Java Chamberlain might have seen his last pitch of the game as the Yankee bullpen getting busy. Bobby Abreu against Javier Lopez. Now the way that Girardi and Francona came out, we weren't quite sure what the hand signals of the umpire were, but we're assuming that both benches were warned, which kind of takes the bullet out of the chamber for both teams about retaliating. You just don't want to do it and get thrown out. So if both benches were warned, you cannot have a Red Sox or a Yankee throw at anybody because they'd be thrown out of the game. Also, the 7 innings by Java Chamberlain, first time in his career he's completed 7 innings. And he's at 102 pitches right now. His career high is 114. And you saw Kyle Farnsworth warming in the bullpen. That will probably do it for Chamberlain. The 1-1.
We mentioned about the bullet, Michael. I mean, if there is any retaliation, the bullet lost is the team that got hit. If they believe, for whatever reason, that if Java got that ball and it slipped or whatever, most of the time, the team that got the brunt of it doesn't get a chance. But, you know, it's a long series, and who knows where it goes. I can't imagine him having done that on purpose. A 1-0 ball game. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, there's just a definite history there now, and they're 2 young players. You know, Youkilis is a little more established, but Java's going nowhere for a long time, and it just adds to the intensity of this rivalry. And the fact that there is a history there between those 2 players, Java and Youkilis, means that this is going to get some legs.
And Youkilis was having a long talk with Darryl Cousins at first during the pitcher's warm-ups between innings. And Youkilis steps on the bag and gets Abreu for the first out. Well, Terry Francona does signal to the bullpen. Manny Del Carmen will come on to face Alex Rodriguez. Yankees lead 1-0.
Wednesday, Yankees baseball is back on Yes. Spring fever is in full swing as the Yankees return to the diamond for some Grapefruit League action against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Spring training baseball starts Wednesday afternoon at 1, only on Yes.
Know that struggle to lift your neck and back with crunches? No more. Introducing Ab Rocket, the ab training secret that takes painful, boring ab exercises and makes them easy, fun, and effective. Just look at the results these people achieved in just 30 days with the Ab Rocket training program. With Ab Rocket, just sit and relax on the backrest and rock back. Your neck and back are supported on the contoured backrest while it provides resistance as you relax back, so you don't just fall backwards. Then, the resistance assists you with that difficult upward motion, giving you an easy liftoff. Plus, the soft cushion rollers on the backrest glide back and forth for an incredible massage. Today, Ab Rocket can be yours to try for 30 days for just $14.95. And we can ship it to you for free. You get the innovative Ab Rocket machine, the Blast Away the Calories meal plan. Plus,
Manny Del Carmen comes on, and he will face Alex Rodriguez. Del Carmen in 45 games, 0-2, 4.50, less than a hit per inning, strikeout per inning, and the strikeout ratio is pretty good.
Really struggling coming into this game. I was giving up 9 earned runs over his last 9 innings.
You think after what happened with Euclid that any of the Yankees are stepping lightly in the box?
Well, I would be. Certainly. You know, right here is the spot, too. You know, you can't help but wonder.
Count 1-1.
You know, it is still a 1-0 game, and priority number 1 is to try to win the game on both sides. The Red Sox still feel like they're into it. Now, sometimes, you know, if you feel like that was intentional, you know, maybe you hold that in your hip pocket for a while, but if ever there was a spot to retaliate, it's right here.
And the count 2-1.
And every one of those fastballs, they were inside. You see Veritek setting fastball and setting up in, which is the spot where most teams try to pitch Alex. You see career against Del Carmen. And what we're speculating is the assumption that if the Red Sox believe that Job did it on purpose, you have to protect your hitters.
Along with Al Leiter and David Cohn, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball here on My 9. Top of the 8th inning, it is 1-0 Yankees.
Sometimes you get a young pitcher on the mound, Del Carmen, and you ask him to retaliate, and it's a tough spot.
There's a strike.
Well, just based on that sequence, the fastball's in, the 1 was in enough, and the 3-1 changeup. That's not a pitch that you're trying to do if you're trying to hit something.
Strike 3, A-Rod down looking.
We'll go sequence here against A-Rod. You know, first pitch down and in, ball 1, back down and in, gets the swing, in off the plate. This is the one I thought maybe they took a shot at him, but misses in. Change up, that makes you think twice, and gets the benefit of the call. You see Veritek pull that ball back down and in. Ball's just in off the plate, but home plate umpire Marty Foster has been consistent. He has called strikes.
And now the trainer comes out with Terry Francona to check on Del Carmen. To his forearm. Let's see if we can see anything with the last pitch that they threw to Alex Rodriguez.
Let's go a fastball up and in there.
Well, that's the last pitch he's going to throw. Why take a chance with a young arm that is very important to everything you do? So they're going to take him out. and they will go to the bullpen again. In all likelihood, they'll bring on the left-hander Okajima. Giambi will come up. 2 outs, nobody on. We're at the top of the 8th. 1-0 Yanks.
He was kryptonite green for his record-breaking dunks. Kryptonite! Now he's officially Celtic green. Tomorrow, the Nets make a quick trip to Boston for a midday matinee against the star-studded Celtics. Nets, Celtics. It all starts tomorrow at 12:30 with the Nets pregame.
Only on Yes. I'm Roger Teeter. In my 40s, I suffered from chronic back pain. I tried everything to find relief. Nothing really worked. Then I found inversion. The Teeter Hang-Ups offers natural decompression that can help to restore nutrients to the discs, reduce nerve pressure, provide realignment, and relax tense, tired muscles.
Call now to try the Teeter Hang-Ups for only $14.95 and receive the 30 Days to a Better Back program free.
Unlike any stretch you can do on your own, a few minutes a day on the Teeter decompresses all weight-bearing joints, promoting improved function and flexibility. That deep stretch leaves me feeling relaxed and rejuvenated. Even though I'm in my 70s, I feel great.
An extremely easy piece of equipment to operate, and the relief that it brings me is well worth the 3 to 5 minutes.
Give it a try and discover why over 1 million people worldwide have put their trust in Teeter Hang-Ups.
News reporter, web producer, account executive.
What's the one thing they all have in common? They got their big break from the Emma L. Bowen Foundation.
And you can too.
Join our paid work study program and get the competitive edge you need. Make it in media.
Multi-year internships, great mentors, scholarship funds.
Minority high school students, college students. Do you have what it takes?
Log on to emmabowenfoundation.com and find out.
Dish Network claims they have more HD channels than DirecTV. Really? What Dish doesn't tell you is that 25 of their HD channels are only in high def part of the time. So with Dish, when you turn on your flat screen, you might get HD, or you might not. DirecTV now has the capacity for over 200 HD channels, all in HD, all the time. So don't be fooled by Dish Network. When you compare, DirecTV wins every time.
Running is a sport that anybody can be a part of. Doesn't matter what your fitness level, the only person you're competing against is yourself.
And I think it's made me a much tougher person because of that.
So I feel pretty good about myself where I just don't want to stop. I'm in it to win it.
Now I'm that person that can do these things.
If you have 2 legs, you get off the couch, get out there and do it.
I love Jackrabbit because it's my neighborhood store.
Their employees were extremely helpful.
If I have any questions at Jackrabbit, I just walk in and ask.
I love Jackrabbit.
Well, the Red Sox will use 3 pitchers in this inning. Hideki Okajima comes in for Manny Del Carmen. You see Okajima's numbers, they don't look that bad, but he had really had a tough stretch for a while where, you know, the Red Sox were wondering, has the American League caught up with him this year?
I think it could have been a combination of both, Michael. He's real herky-jerky. His head flies open. Last year, with his split finger was unhittable. And as scouting goes, you know, if you know it's a 2-pitch pitcher, he doesn't throw very hard, right over the top. Kind of a 12 o'clock arm angle right through the zone, but that split finger was devastating. Of late, as you say, Michael, is much better. His last 8 games got a 1.59 ERA.
Guys, let me throw this at you. We're talking about pitchers. Maybe Del Carmen missed Alex Rodriguez. We saw how the Mets went years trying to get back Roger Clemens. And then finally Sean Estes missed him but threw behind him, so that was almost like mission accomplished. Is it an art to throw at somebody? And is Jabba Chamberlain coming up too high if in fact he wants to move people off the plate?
Well, you know, I think there is an art to it, absolutely. You want to stay below shoulder level. You know, the old stick one in his ribs kind of is apropos. You know, if you definitely want to get a hitter, if you feel like you need to protect your hitters. Jeter and A-Rod have been hit a lot against Boston over the last several years. You know, we saw the history with Jabba, you know, throwing the ball over Youkilis's head. That's something you don't want to do. And I think that's what set off the Red Sox and Youkilis initially. And even though tonight I do not think was intentional by Jabba, I think the fact that it was up around his head again sends off a signal to the Red Sox that something's going on, at the very least, a little reckless.
Well, you look into the pitcher. Jabba Chamberlain's got very good command. For a guy who's got an excellent fastball, he walked 1 batter today thus far. Looks like he's done. Mike Law. if you have a guy who's erratic and clueless, you see the catcher set up and he's throwing way inside or vice versa, then you just you write it off as a guy who just doesn't have good command. Here you see a good breaking ball from Okajima.
This is the pitch he's gone to more recently with success. He's throwing more curveballs, more breaking stuff as opposed to that splitter that he was getting hurt with earlier in the year. You see Giambi way out in front.
And there's a strike, 1-2. You know, we talk about circumstance, and it doesn't make any sense, circumstantial, that Jabba would do this. But did it make sense the other times he threw it his head? And that's what the Red Sox were thinking.
That's the history part that the Red Sox didn't like initially, even though there was, he didn't get hit, but the ball's over his head.
Swing and a miss. Giambi down on strikes. Red Sox, 3 pitchers. Yankees go down in order, 1, 2, 3. And a hot game's getting hotter as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is 1-0 Yankees, and Farnsworth's coming in.
The Yankees are back, and YesNetwork.com is your ultimate source for in-depth coverage from spring training. Our team will be on the scene in Tampa, bringing you daily video updates, interviews, blogs, and photo galleries. Plus, follow Yes Network on Twitter for the latest updates and breaking news. YesNetwork.com, your Yankees spring training home.
Know that struggle to lift your neck and back with crunches? No more. Introducing Ab Rocket, the ab training secret that takes painful, boring ab exercises and makes them easy, fun, and effective. Just look at the results these people achieved in just 30 days with the Ab Rocket training program. With Ab Rocket, just sit and relax on the backrest and rock back. Your neck and back are supported on the contoured backrest while it provides resistance as you relax back, so you don't just fall backwards. Then, the resistance assists you with that difficult upward motion, giving you an easy liftoff. Plus, the soft cushion rollers on the backrest glide back and forth for an incredible massage. Today, Ab Rocket can be yours to try for 30 days for just $14.95, and we can ship it to you for free. You get the innovative Ab Rocket machine, the Blast Away the Calories meal plan, plus a 20-minute fun rockin' cardio dance party to help you lose pounds and inches fast. Call now to take advantage of this amazing offer to try it for 30 days for just $14.95, and we'll even ship it to you for free. Call now.
Attention if you have diabetes.
Hello, I'm Alan Thicke. As the father of a child with diabetes, it's important that I keep up to date with the latest in treatments and technology. That's why I'm happy to tell you about a breakthrough in diabetes care through CCS Medical. You don't need to stick your fingers anymore. This new meter allows you to test on your arm, so it's virtually pain-free. Plus, it uses gold test strips. Real laser-etched gold in every strip provides the ideal testing surface for one of the most accurate readings possible. Best of all, CCS Medical can send you this meter at no cost. With CCS Medical, they deliver your diabetes supplies to your home. They work with Medicare or your insurance to process the paperwork. They even have nurses certified in diabetes available to answer questions. And for a limited time, CCS Medical will also send you a diabetes cookbook. All this from a company trusted and recommended by thousands of doctors around the country. Call CCS Medical today.
We Americans are always at our best when we hear and heed the cries of others.
When confronted with massive human suffering, Americans have always stepped up and answered the call to help.
But there's never been anything on a scale of human tragedy in our own hemisphere, like what we're now witnessing in Haiti.
Today, President Clinton and I are joining together to appeal to you with real urgency.
Give now, and lives will be saved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at the Red Sox in-game box scores. There's not much to see. Just 3 hits. Dustin Pedroia, David Ortiz, and Mike Lowell, all singles. A lot of strikeouts in there as well. 7 innings for Jabba Chamberlain, officially 103 pitches, and that's it. He completes 7 innings for the first time, and the Yankees will turn it over to Kyle Farnsworth, who's been so effective coming out of the bullpen. 9 straight appearances without allowing a hit. And he'll face the bottom third of the order. Lowry, Varitek, and Crisp. And you see Farnsworth has gotten his numbers now to really respectable levels. Less than a hit per inning, 41 strikeouts in 43 innings, 3.35 ERA. And the pitch to Lowry is a strike. In the 9 consecutive hitless innings, 5 walks and 10 strikeouts over that span.
And mostly, Michael, when you look at Farnsworth this year, stuff-wise, he didn't add a pitch. He's just comfortable. He's good where he is. He's comfortable with the way Joe Girardi uses him.
Line to right field. It is a base hit. So Lowry is the tying run. He leads off with a single here in the 8th. And that will allow the weaker hitting Varitek to bunt now and move the tying run into scoring position.
The slider going down and in, a danger zone for any left-handed hitter. Jed Lowry going down and hitting this slider. Farnsworth's slider's upper 80s, considering a fastball for Farnsworth in the mid-90s. Those lefties like that ball down and in.
Now Manny Ramirez is not in the game. Second straight game because of a bad right knee. You wonder, is he lurking as a pinch hitter? But he's not pinch hitting here for Varitek. Let's see if Varitek bunts. A-Rod is in at third, expecting to bunt. Richie Sexson in at first. Diving back is Lowry. So the Yankees make the defensive switch, replacing Giambi with Sexson at first base.
Well, Michael, I would say there's a batting cage down here, and as bad as his knee is, or not bad, he was hitting in the cages before the game today, so that is definitely a possibility.
And they swing him away, and that's popped up. Backing up is A-Rod, coming over is Jeter, and Jeter makes the play, one away. So Varitek's struggles continue. He's 13 for his last 96.
Well, the thing you got to think about right there with Varitek is we sort of thought about looking for a bunt right there. As you see here, is Terry Francona just must be trying to get him going right here. The bottom of the 8th inning, got a leadoff guy on. You let him swing away against the power reliever. He pops up to shortstop. The only thinking is Francona's trying to get him going, trying to let him see if he can come up with a big hit in a big spot.
Well, that's a good point, David. But mostly, you know, here's a guy Varitek. He's a middle lineup guy. You know, how well does he bunt?
He does not have a sack bunt this year, so a lot of that plays into that decision. You can't ask guys to do things that they can't do, even if it's the right time to do it. Lowry dives back. And Mariano Rivera getting ready. Joe Girardi, after a day off, might want to use him for more than an inning. There's that breaking ball strike to Coco Crisp. Crisp 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground ball is short. Joe Girardi's team looking for its 7th straight win. Lowry gets back ahead of the tag by Sexson. Sellout crowd here at Fenway Park on a beautiful New England evening. Was Lowry leaning? And that's the closest it's been at first with the throw over.
Good timing for Kyle Farnsworth to throw over. He wasn't set. Many times a right-hander will come set, vary their times, and then throw over.
Now, Lowry has spent a lot of this season in the minors, and he's had just one stolen base down there. So simply because he's a middle infielder doesn't mean that he has great speed.
The Red Sox saw an opportunity with Lowry to get him at shortstop, even though he was a third baseman in the system, highly thought of, sitting behind Mike Lowell in the minor leagues. Saw an opportunity with Julio Lugo going on the DL. Brought Jed Lowry up, and you get the feeling that he might be the shortstop now.
The pitcher's duel of the starters lived up to its advanced billing. Josh Beckett gave up 1 run on 9 hits over 7. The Yankee starter Jabba Chamberlain did not allow a run over 7 innings, allowing just 3 hits. And the count 1-2.
Well, both of them, as you say, going into this game, we knew the dominant stuff takes care of a lot of mistakes, and they were on. Both of them throwing strikes, using their off-speed pitches.
So Jed Lowry there. 29 June games. He was 35 for 116, hitting .302, is the longest hitting streak to begin a major league career with Boston since 1956. The Red Sox love that kid.
Chris put together good at bat against Farnsworth.
Another thing Terry Francona's done is get this guy, Coco Crisp, some at-bats this year. There's a lot of talk about him getting traded in the offseason. Jacoby Ellsbury taking over in center field. And Francona's done a great job of getting them both in the lineup, getting something out of Coco Crisp this year when they thought, as you see his numbers against Farnsworth right there, when they thought Crisp was certainly trade bait during the spring training this year.
1-2. And what's interesting, now Ellsbury has really gone in the tank offensively. And if Manny comes back with Ortiz now the DH, it might be Ellsbury that takes a seat and Crisp might stay in center. Now, incidentally, the base hit by Lowry to start off this inning, that's the first hit that Farnsworth has given up since June 22nd. How about not giving up a hit in over a month? That's how good he's been. The 2-2. Dribbled slowly up the first baseline. And it's a fair ball. And it's a base hit. Farnsworth probably a bit too aggressive. That ball would have kicked foul.
Well, you're exactly right, Michael. You got Richie Sexson playing first base, who's an experienced first baseman, and he's got a beat on this ball. And he's also got the angle. He can let it roll. Farnsworth jumps in there, gets a little too over-aggressive. A lot of times when pitchers get in the way, bad things happen. Well, that's why you like your position players handling any ball they can get their hands on. Richie Sexson was in a better position to read that ball, whether it goes foul or not, or he also had more time to get to it and get a tag on Crisp.
Well, Joe Girardi wants this game. And he takes the ball from Farnsworth, and he is going to call on Mariano Rivera to get 5 outs. 2 this inning and 3 next inning. So as Mariano jogs in, no enter Sandman, but he is trying to put the Red Sox to sleep for the night. 1-0 Yanks.
Will bankruptcy put an end to the harassing calls from creditors?
We're struggling to pay our bills.
Is bankruptcy an option?
Can I possibly keep my house?
What about keeping my car?
Can bankruptcy stop foreclosure proceedings?
Yes. My law firm may help you get a fresh start while protecting your home, your car, and your peace of mind. Call us for a free consultation.
Will I ever be able to get credit again?
Yes, because bankruptcy isn't the end. It's a new beginning. In today's economic times, are you struggling to pay your mortgage, credit card, or medical bills? I'm David Pankin. Before you enter credit counseling payment plans you can't afford, find out how bankruptcy may help you get out of debt and get the fresh financial start you need. Immediate financial relief could be a phone call away. Get the whole picture. Call 888-LAW-9600. As always, your consultation is confidential and free. And remember, bankruptcy is not the end, it's a new beginning.
He's trying to extend their winning streak to 7 straight and win the opening game of this 3-game set. They bring on their closer, Mariano Rivera. He's perfect in save situations, 25 for 25. He's allowed just 1 run all year in save situations. The other runs came in tie games. 4-3, 1.21 ERA, 54 strikeouts in 44 and 2/3 innings, and 30 combined base runners. So Farnsworth will watch this inning unfold from the bench. Mariano has 1 5-out save this year and 3 total saves of more than 3 outs. So he's going to face the top of the order with runners on first and second. And here's Jacoby Ellsbury. And the pitch to Ellsbury's fouled away. Guys, do you think that Chris went out of the baseline?
I think he was beginning to go out of the baseline. I think he was starting to go out of the baseline here, and Richie Sexson's got the play right here. He's got it in front of him. He's got the read on whether the ball is going to go foul or not. Chris starts to veer off right there, but at that point, Farnsworth had already touched the ball.
And the way Bob interpreted the rule, he really didn't have any place to go because Farnsworth was in the baseline. Either he runs him over, he has to run out of the baseline.
You see this high cutting fastball just blown right by Ellsbury up and in. And you're right, you know, that you don't want pitchers fielding that ball. You know, it's an aggressive play by Farnsworth. You don't fault the effort. But Richie Sexton's the guy that's got to make that play. And that got Mariano Rivera in the game, and it shows you, as you said, Michael, how important this game is to the Yankees to get this first game of this series.
The 0-2 missed outside. 1-2.
It's important on two levels. It's the first series against the Red Sox, and you've got a 6-game winning streak going. And also, you want to get Chamberlain a win. You see Mariano's career against the Red Sox right there.
You might say, wow, 3.04 is good. Well, not for Mariano, so that's kind of a higher rate. The Red Sox have seen him more than anybody because they play about 18, 19 games a year. Strike 3, and Ellsbury down looking. He is 0 for 4, and he does not like the call.
That cutter normally going into the left-handed hitter, and you said Ellsbury's been struggling. This is a paint fastball away. Look at the front hip on Ellsbury. Looking inside, as many times Mariano Rivera does to left-handed hitters. Whether that was a favorable call or not, but it looked corner.
And now a very pesky hitter that no one has been able to get out, and that's Dustin Pedroia.
Well, this is the matchup that manager Girardi feels more comfortable with. Get Rivera in the game. Gets the big strikeout on Ellsbury looking there. Now you got Pedroia, has been a hot hitter. Tough hitter to figure out. Very aggressive swinger. Early in the count, swings, looks for a lot of first pitch fastballs.
Pedroia does not lack for confidence. There was a catcher in the American League as he was standing up at the plate. They said to Pedroia, we just can't get you out. He says, don't worry, nobody in the American League could.
Is that cocky or confident?
You tell me. Maybe like that scouting report you gave, there's a slash in the middle. Cocky confident, or a hyphen. The 0-1. Count 0-2.
Well, when Pedroia first got called up, he had not a typical second base swing. Opens up, a helicopter swing, big swing for a little guy. Doesn't compensate. There's really not much a two-strike approach. But he certainly settled in. For anybody batting .321 in the big leagues, using the whole field.
196 hitter with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. The tying run at second base here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the 0-2 missed outside, 1-2. And Molina will go out and talk with Rivera.
See, Molina wanted that ball up. He likes to see Mo run the ball up the ladder, go with his high cutter or high fastballs. Pedroia has been known to chase a little bit, and Mariano cut that a little more, had a little more slider action to it, caught Molina down and away. Wanted to get on the same page right here.
Right back to Rivera, and he has worked out of a jam in the 8th inning, but still has 3 more outs to get in the 9th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the 9th. Nail biter, 1-0 Yanks.
He was kryptonite green for his record-breaking dunks. Kryptonite! Now he's officially Celtic green. Tomorrow, the Nets make a quick trip to Boston for a midday matinee against the star-studded Celtics. Nets, Celtics. It all starts tomorrow at 12:30 with the Nets pregame.
Only on Yes.
Are you stressed over credit cards and other debts? Maybe through no fault of your own? Imagine how it would feel to have that weight lifted right off your shoulders. Well, here's some good news from America's trusted name in debt relief. Care One providers have already helped over 4.5 million people in debt, and we can help you today. Just call this toll-free number to speak with a friendly representative, and in just minutes, you'll get your free debt relief analysis.
Regardless of your situation, Care One has an option for you.
We are there to help, and we do that in a way that's empathetic and supportive without judging their financial situation.
The credit card companies, I feel, are trying to keep you in debt and trying to keep it so you owe them money forever. And Care One's a good way to get you out of that and get you out of it fast.
A big burden was lifted off of my shoulders.
Care One threw me a lifeline.
Call Care One. They will help you.
Get debt relief from a company you can trust. Just call the toll-free number today.
Now the best seat in the house is in your house.
In fact, with a Fios Total Ticket, it can be in every room. Unlike cable, only Fios gives you a multi-room DVR that lets you record shows in one room and watch them in up to 6 other rooms. One DVR puts you in control of all your family entertainment. Now you can get a multi-room DVR plus set-top box free for 6 months. When you sign up for Fios TV, internet, and phone, you'll get TV with 3 times more very satisfied customers than the average cable provider. America's top-rated.
Against Okajima. There's the strike. Pretty good game. 1-9-0 Yanks, 0-5-0 for the Red Sox. Mariano threw 8 pitches to get out of that 8th inning. So has another full inning to go and has to face the heart of the Red Sox order in the bottom of the 9th. Ortiz, Youkilis, and Lowell. And there's a line drive to Lowry. Cano is out. He's 1 for 4 tonight. So unless there's extra innings, his streak of 6 straight multi-hit games has ended, but he does have a 7-game hitting streak.
Jabba Chamberlain had a strong night, sharp from the get-go, 7 innings pitched, only 1 walk and 9 strikeouts. ERA's down to 2.30 for the season. You can see how important this game is. As you said, Michael, you know, you need to get them a win. For one thing, the Yankees need to win this series, the first game of the series. So Rivera's in the game, and Jabba's looking for a win after a great performance.
Dominate. There really wasn't any instant, maybe the 4th inning. Ortiz's single that there was some bit of trouble, but just a complete dominating performance.
And the 1-0. There's a strike. 1-1.
Jabba really got picked up in the 2nd inning on a diving play by Melky in center field. And a tremendous double play by Robinson Cano on a play up the middle, on a backhand and a flip to Jeter.
Breaking ball strike, 1-2.
That goes to show you with Jabba, you can still get the strikeouts and still get deep in the game. His pitch count was reasonable, right around 100.
Count 2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3. Melky Cabrera down looking. 2 away here in the 9th.
Okajima showing this big curveball right here. After a fastball, the big hook. See Cabrera just giving up. So much slower, out in front of a little bit, can't pull the trigger. Nice pitch.
It's Okajima making adjustments. You know, primarily his out pitch last year was a splitter, as we mentioned before. Tremendous success last year. Really struggled the first part of this year. Made the adjustments, going to more hooks now. Big slow hook.
Molina swings it one in the dirt. The count 0-1.
And it's so arm, legs, head, and then here comes the pitching arm, and then the ball just 76, real slow. It's hard for a batter to stay back when they see all this herky-jerky motion.
Count 0-2. Along with David Cohn and Al Leiter, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball here on My 9, and it's a dandy. Yankees lead the Red Sox 1-0. Top of the 9th inning. 2 outs. Nobody on. Rivera got the final 2 outs of the 8th inning. He will pitch the bottom of the 9th to try to close it out. Okajima on the mound. 0-2 count on Molina. Line drive right at Lowry. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and this should be fun. Mariano Rivera will take the mound. The first batter he will face, David Ortiz. Drama, he is 7 for 20 lifetime against Rivera with a home run.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is Ed too tall, Jones too tall? Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance?
dramatic than this. What a setting. Fenway Park, sellout crowd, Yankees, Red Sox, the 2000th game that these two teams have played in regular season history. And quite a matchup. David Ortiz, who has hurt the Yankees since he's become a Red Sox, and Mariano Rivera, who has been perfect this year in save situations. Ortiz just off the DL, and he is 1 for 3 tonight. Rivera deals. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Ortiz lifetime against Mo, 7 for 20, 1 of the 7, a home run. There's Poppy's resume, 4-time All-Star, 54 home runs in 06, 2 World Championships, and as a DH, 238 home runs. His 12th big league season, 6 with the Twins, 6 here with the Red Sox. And there's a fly ball to right field. Coming on is Abreu, 1 away. So the Red Sox down to their final 2 outs, and here is Kevin Youkilis.
You just knew that Molina was gonna try to test Big Poppy inside, and Mo gets it there. And you could see that hand come off the bat. It just cannot catch up to that fastball or that cut fastball inside. Mo just ties him up.
Here's Youkilis. Youkilis part of some drama in the 7th inning against Jabba Chamberlain, as Chamberlain went up and in on Youkilis. 2 separate games previous to this, he's done the same thing. Youkilis didn't like it, kind of looked out. Both managers came out, players to the top step, but nothing came of it. This is Youkilis's next at bat after that. Count 1-1.
Good old-fashioned 1-0 game with Rivera on the line, on the mound right now. Beckett also was really sharp. 7 innings of work, only 1 earned run.
And the 1-1. 1-2. In case you just joined us, here's what happened in the 7th. There was a foul ball, did not hit him. It hit the bat. He did not appreciate it. Because as we mentioned, there have been 2 previous instances of that happening, and both benches were indeed warned. A 1-2. Line drive, base hit. Alex Rodriguez playing the line, guarding against the extra base hit. Gave up the single of Youkilis, so the Red Sox are alive. The tying run is on base.
Well, I've always thought never keep a sleeping dog lie. This is a cutter that's down and in. You see the ball cutting where Molina's glove is, it's up and in. Good hitting right there. Youkilis pulling his hands in. Normally a jam shot, but had enough of the plate for Youkilis to get it past A-Rod.
Youkilis now 2 for 6 lifetime against Rivera. And here is Mike Lowell. Lowell's 1 for 2, single to left, walked, and struck out looking. Yankees trying to pull to within 1 in the loss column behind the Red Sox. Red Sox with 43 losses, Yankees 45. Another game of interest. Tampa Bay leads Kansas City 2-1 in the 6th inning. And the Rays have lost 7 straight on the road. Good numbers for Lowell against Rivera, 3 for 8. The Rays and the Red Sox essentially tied atop the American League East. The 1-0. There's a strike. Count 1-1.
Kind of a situation here when Mike Lowell, as you said, Al, is good inside fastball hitter. As you see Molina catch that ball maybe just off the plate with cutting action. You anticipate Rivera staying away from Lowell right here. You don't want to let him get a ball in the inner half of the plate.
1-1. Fouled away, the count 1-2.
Which those numbers surprise me. Because as much as Mariano's ball cuts away, as you're describing, David, he's a guy that likes to pull the ball. And the weakness for him is to stay away. And once in a while, he'll throw a ball out to right field. But normally it's all left side of the infield or left field.
And the 1-2 stays alive by fouling it back.
And I think the only way we see Rivera take a shot in here is if it's really off the plate, to maybe push Lowe off or go up the ladder. But Lowe is so quick on the inner half of the plate. And in this situation, he could shoot one off that green monster or maybe even get it over for a game winner. You definitely don't want to make a mistake on the inner half of the plate in this situation or this hitter.
And the 1-2. Lowell spoiling pitches against Rivera. On deck, J.D. Drew, the All-Star Game MVP.
Based on those swings right there, Lowell, you see him looking down, contemplating where's he going to go, because Mariano really has impeccable command of both sides. Even though that ball cuts, he's coming in just as much now he does it go away. But Lowell is kind of half-heartedly swinging at that ball away. It looks like Mariano wants to come inside here.
And the 1-2. Just missed. And the count 2-2.
It looked like he took a shot with that two-seam fastball there. He occasionally will throw to try to make sure it stays inside if you're going to go in there. I anticipate him going right back away again.
Last year's World Series MVP at the plate against arguably the greatest closer in history. The 2-2 again spoils it the other way.
That's the thing about Mike Lowell. You know, that's all he's trying to do is just spoil those pitches away. He's still always ready inside. Made his living. As you said, Al, he's revived his career here at Fenway Park because this swing is tailor-made for the Green Monster. He's always ready in.
Strike 3 inside corner, and Lowell is barking at the home plate umpire, Marty Foster. He does not like being punched out here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Red Sox down to their final out. And now he's thrown out of the game. Now he throws down the bat. He's going to get his money's worth. The helmet, and here comes Francona. So Lowell getting his money's worth. And let's take a look at the pitch by pitch.
Well, he goes away just off the plate. Almost the same pitch, gets the call 1-1, staying away, fouls it off, staying away again, back out there, takes a shot with a two-seamer down and in, goes back away. And here's the shot in, and this ball, I'll tell you what, Mike Lowell's probably got a pretty good argument there, even though Mariano Rivera's got good control. Very close pitch. You see Molina move his glove and kind of jerk it back in. It's hard to get a fastball by Mike Lowell on the inner half of the plate. He clearly thinks that ball's inside.
And you mentioned with Molina pulling the glove back.
Here's J.D. Drew, 2 for 4 lifetime against Rivera. Red Sox down to their final out. And that one's fouled off.
Real gutsy pitch by Mariano Rivera. He had to shake off Molina to go inside. Molina's thinking like we're thinking up here. Don't make a mistake in. That's what makes Mariano Rivera so great. He's so cool under pressure out there. He'll throw any pitch at any time in terms of location, in and out. And when he missed right. If that ball was going to miss anywhere, it was going to miss just in off the plate. And he got the call from Marty Foster and got Lowell out of the game arguing.
Mariano at 23 pitches. His season high this year is 31. The 0-1. Upstairs. J.D. Drew tonight is 0 for 3. He's 3 for his last 24. As we mentioned, the MVP for the American League in the All-Star game, which they won in 15 innings at Yankee Stadium. Youkilis at first. He's the tying run. The 1-1. Strike 2. Red Sox down to their final strike and their final out.
See Molina setting up away. Ball running to the outside corner. Molina catches it in the webbing.
Sexton holds on Youkilis. Rivera sets the 1-2. Strike 3. Ball game over and the Yankees win 1-0. Rivera comes on to nail it down. 5 outs. His 26th save in 26 tries, and the Yankees have won their 7th straight game.
It seems that Fenway Park may have brought out the very best in Jabba Chamberlain. Certainly his best start in the major leagues. Chamberlain threw 103 pitches, 69 for strikes. He held the Red Sox scoreless over a career-high 7 innings and matched his personal best with 9 strikeouts while walking only 1. Along with some great defense, it was Chamberlain's clutch performance with no margin for error that would allow him to outpitch the 2007 American League Cy Young Award runner-up Josh Beckett, ultimately earning the Yankees the 7th straight win. New York would go on to win the next night, extending their streak to 8 games. That night, Manny Ramirez returned to the lineup hitting an uninspired 0 for 4. 5 days later, Ramirez would become a Los Angeles Dodger. The third game would see the Red Sox ending the Yankees' win streak. The Yankees had clawed their way to within 1 game of the Red Sox, and while they were not able to keep that momentum going, they were able to find confidence in the direction they were headed during a time of transition. For Yankees Classics, I'm John Sterling.